Peace. Or to the beat. Goddamn witch find in general. Y'all got a witch? I'll burn the asses up. We got a good one for y'all today. We just got through 1.5 hour ago. Homeboy, Siberian's a secret serpent. Now, we're going to get to a little lesson here on magic incantations. And magic incantation bowls and Mesopotamia. Right? So, get right up in here. Take this track by Josh Doggy Dog. Right back. I'm going to try the newest one. I only listen to the newest one first. Right, come on now. Come on with it. Called Fake Hustlers.
Niggas think they slick as hell. Oh well. The motherfucking ship done sail. Couldn't read the braille. Catch a time bomb in the mail. Y'all Hellenized more than hell. I'm at work helping peeps make bill. Gotta get the fuck out and stay out. Even though you from the south, hear these words out the mouth. I don't know what they about. What they say is sour to the taste like kraut. And the crowd's trying to shout. Niggas locked up, catching gout. I'ma try and run a Jerry Rice route. Let me go on ahead and let the nights out. I ain't pout, but don't look at me when you learn. Heat in my chest make me sweat like a perm. Could it be a germ? Snap my finger saying darn. I'ma make it past go on the next turn.
Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Check it out. Crazy horses.
Hey, some pro-black, they sweet as curns. Keep the documentary Ken Burns. Trying to hustle, she made the floor wet to her muscle. But you got a lot of wop, a lot of pot, a lot of snot. About to get slapped out your mouth. I'm having more fun than Cindy Locke. Fuck the racist cop. Too many dead drop. We Star Trek to the next stop. Got the CBD from the shop. Make my blood pressure drop. We ain't forget who you shot. Google satellite show a spot. We got the same terrain. Maneuver 360 to see a plane. See the game. Y'all still worry about a lamb lane. Too much Luciferian damn fame. Hear me right. Talk about the dirty light. See it clearer. Even through the smoking mirrors.
Crazy horses.
Come on in, y'all.
Crazy horses. Crazy horses.
Word. Check it out. We about the facts. A lot of cats about the gats. Swatting that word. Draining flax. I'm like Bane on the back. Streets be the same to the rap. Real lyrics. It's not crack. Even without the beat, we go oil. Check the hors d'oeuvres. They all spoiled. Royal soil. Ethiopian kind. Many brothers got vexed trying to tamper with the mind. Out here saying decline. Hard trying to wait for y'all to grow a spine. It's no time. All illusion. Devil white man made intrusion. Don't get it confused though. Devil black man will use bros. Bunch of putos who got new souls. So they feel they can do anything, include mess with the way the earth sings. Hey yo, what the earth stings.
Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. They don't say. Crazy horses. Crazy horses. Crazy horses.
Different pages. Y'all know what it is. Hey, yeah. Yo, talk for a second. Brother John. And always remember, deep in your DNA is the weapon. Funk that. Natural selection. Yo, that's all repetitive. Yeah, straight negative.
Like that shit, Josh. Killing that shit. Let's go, Josh. Talk. Y'all hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Y'all hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Where Neggy at, man? Neggy up there. Come on, man. Show on the road, popping. Yeah, sounding good. All right. It sounding good. Well, who goes? I love you. Oh man. It was funny, like Siberians, John and all them, they know how to say it. Like they know how to say it. Like they from down south. That's why I say that shit. I'm from down south. Burn their ass up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't really know what I'll be saying. Like I'll be doing that shit. Let y'all know. Countries. Burn their ass up. Oh man. All right. All right. Magical incantation. Oh. All right. All right, let's go. Got 6 people up in this bitch. All right, I feel y'all. So, yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot about the game crew. Cartel group. Guys up in here. Help. Boom. All right. I'm ready to go. So we're going to talk about these magic bowls, origins, used for, how they were used. Yes. I got a lot of information. That ready. And this new PDF is I haven't looked at. It's actually text. If anything, I did. All right. Motherfucking language. All right, so I won't use that. Got to throw some extra stuff up in here for the show stuff. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with this one first. Try to get my shit in order. It's already had it in order. All right. Start with this one. Okay. Screen. Let's be able to do this. All right, let's get this guy. Human busting magical. Bowls from Babylon. Babylon, the middle of the first millennium BC. Individual gets up in the morning, suffering from a stomach ache or any other pains that may. What that is, Liberians, from a stomach ache or any other pains that may prevent one from leaving home and earning one's bread. So what does one do? At the time in Babylon, there were several options. One could consult with the elders, visit the nearest doctor, pray to the heavens above, or order a magical bowl to capture the demons trapped inside oneself. The Jews of Babylon were not the only ones who created and purchased magical exorcism bowls. Between the 5th and 8th century, Babylon was flooded with enchanted bowls, used for capturing demons. There is a reason to believe that the Jews were considered experts in the field, as over 60% of the magical bowls that have been found to date had their spells inscribed upon them by Jewish wizards for the use of both Jews and non-Jews. Each bowl was made by hand, and no two bowls were identical. Though some of the same patterns and formulas do appear on many of them. Most of the bowls were made specifically by pre-order for specific owners whose names were inscribed on the bowls themselves. Bowls were often buried under the floor of a house to protect the owner's family and property from attacks of malicious demons. Incantations were written on the bowls in 3 ancient dialects: Jewish, Babylonian, Aramaic, Mandic, and Syriac. The text was usually inscribed on the inside of the bowls in spiral form. Anybody want to come in? Go on link. The text was usually inscribed in spiral form from the center out. Sometimes drawings were added to illustrate the emphasis of the magic, such as the image of a bound demon, a wizard, or some other heroic figure wrangled the evil demons. Today we know of more than 2,000 such magical bowls located in museums. And private collections around the world. Most of them are preserved away from the public. How then did the library come into possession of several of these books. Recently, 7 of these rare enchanted objects were donated to the National Library of Israel by collector Avigdor Blagsbad. These seven joined other single bowls that, in parts of Gershom Scrollem's collection, donated many years ago by the famous scholar and Jewish mystic. Bowls are among the oldest items in the library, and here you can have a look at it. The story of Sumit, a mother protecting her children. This bowl was donated by Gershom Scrollem. The inscription tells the story of a character named Sumit, who lost her sons at the hands of a demon called Cydrus. She fled and built herself a fortress where she gave birth to another son. Unfortunately, Cydrus managed to enter the fortress and killed his newborn child as well. When Cydrus' crime was discovered, he fled. At this point came a heavenly intervention. 4 angels, Sonai, Sasoni, and Sangri, and Urtiko. Somebody talking about that today? I believe in our Siberian chat. I think so. Pursued and caught the demon. When they were both about to kill him, he swore not to harm the children of the bull owner, wherever the names of the 4 angels were mentioned. There are certain connections between the story and the story of Lilith, the first wife of the biblical Adam, and the infamous demonic murder of children, which appears in the medieval work Alpha Beta on the Ben Sira. The name of the first 3 angels can still be found today in slightly altered form, amulets and talismans intended to protect pregnant women. In the center of the bowl is a drawing of an unidentified figure. The story of this bowl was originally published in 1985 by Joseph Nabat and Shaul Sheikh. It was brought to light again recently in the works of James Ben Ford, Older, and Big Bowl of Salvio Ben Dada. The description of the bowl was written in the Mandic language, which is a dialect of the ancient Aramaic spoken in Babylon by members of the Mandian community. The incantation is direct against a long line of Lilith-like demons, each with a different name. On one side of the bowl, we can spot the figure of a demon, perhaps one of those for which the owner of the bowl, Zadai Ben Dadi, sought protection. These bowls are the earliest evidence of the culture of the Mandian community, which exists to this day. See here, the inscription is written from the rim of the bowl to the center. And usually that's where they had the demon or whatever stuff in the center. All barely survived arguments, turning to Jerusalem. It was resembled from several fragments, but one of the pieces is clearly still missing. The inscription on the bowl, written in Jewish Babylonian Aramaic, is an appeal to a large number of angels to protect the house and its inhabitants. A demon with long hair bound by its hands and feet is featured in the center of the bowl. This Okay. What up, Xavier?
Yo, what I miss?
Just getting started. Just starting the fire. Just
What's
starting the
going
fire.
on?
You came in on a good part. I was telling everybody earlier about the testimony from that client that we had.
Oh yeah. I saw you did that, man. I really appreciate that. That's the hookup. Even with the technical difficulties, man, that shit was dope. Hello. Hello. Oh shit.
All right, I'm back. So yeah, I was saying how that the work got the ball rolling and stuff really fast compared to like a lot of other people that's out there. Even like big name spiritual workers and stuff that are out there. You know what I mean? Even they say they even tell you it's like, yo, sometimes my results ain't fast, like, you know what I mean? But what I saw with you and stuff, that's pretty damn quick. Congratulations on that. Happy customer. Definitely. Yeah, work it out. I think I got it now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sutter?
Yeah. Hey, my back on.
Oh,
All right, cool.
okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm backstage for a second time. You're gonna kick me off, I guess.
Oh, it kicks you off? Shit, my bad.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Appreciate the welcome.
Yeah, you good job. Wait, are you? Oh, there you go again. That's weird. Two of them. So,
Yeah, if you
one
can
part
kick
that I was saying.
one up, motherfucker, appreciate it.
That I two on there. Trying to get to the slide. All right. The Babylonian incantation bowls. Um, Tiberius, feel free to jump in there and stop me if you find something interesting that I say. The cantation bowls, which are known as demon bowls, witch bowls, or demon trap bowls, are a kind of talisman made late antiquity, 200 to 900 CE in the Near East. They are most often found in modern Syria and Iraq, but they have been found throughout the Eastern Roman Empire. The bowls are placed or buried upside down or hollow side down, often in the corner of homes, although they are also found in graves and other locations. There are broadly four types of incantation bowls. The most common type are house protection and general anti-curse talisman. Other common types are intended to protect specific people from particular curses. Sometimes they are intended to cure people of specific afflictions, such as migraines. A final kind has pseudo-script, which were likely created by illiterate people for their own use. One imagines these have the same spread of uses as the liturgy. Okay? Text on the bowls is pretty formulaic. Most include some, but not all, the following: the introductory formula given to the name of the magician and the magical titles or pedigree, the brief quote from Torah, the description of a function of the bowl, a divorce decree of exorcism formula, casting out divorcing demons and lilies, a restraining order against demons, and etc. Voces, magi, and barbarous names, a concluding formula such as Amen, Amen, Salah, or etc., and illustration of a demon in chains, or occasionally other things shaped with shapes. This is a divorce writ for the liveth that curses, which I have written for any daughter of Baki, and any name she has. May you have healed, may you be protected, may you be saved, and from every evil, strong, powerful spirit, from active sorcery, from spells of Sinai, the singer, prostitute, and Lilith, and the curse which is killing children that are hers, children of her female neighbor, that if you are permitted and have power over yourself to be with any person that you may desire. For I have written to you a deed of divorce, a written dismissal from the Emi daughter of Baki, and any name that she has. So I guess this is like what they're writing on the bowl is basically like a legal letter. Like, yo, this is what can happen. You fucking these people no more. And shit like that. All right. I'm gonna go in later on different types of things and how they're directed and stuff like that. So that's just basic stuff. This element shall be to heal Mahaduk, daughter of Wandu. May she be healed from the spirit of the belly. May the spirit of blood, which is in the Mahaduk, daughter of Wandu, be annulled, and may her belly material drive up from. All right, nullify the blood of the womb of Nala, daughter of Niwando, accept this rebuke and carry away the evil spirit from the belly. Bound is the bewitching live with the peg of iron in the nose. Bound is the bewitching live with the pincers of iron in her mouth. Bound is the bewitching live who haunts the houses of court. With a chain of iron on her neck. Bound is the bewitching live with fetters of iron on her hands. Bound is the bewitching live with stocks of stone. So these are some of the pictures of these bowls. As you can see, the inscription makes sort of like a you call that like a vortex or like a, you know what I mean? It's like in a spiral motion. So it's just something like maybe the spirit that leads it works its way to the center of the bowl. It's something that attracts that spirit and it follows these words or something like that. It's their minds. That's right. Or bowl. And you will find bowls that have a knot, who is Yahweh's wife. A lot of biblical people don't believe that Yahweh is his wife. But with the actual archaeology, history of the people there in that region, he had a wife. His name was Hannah. Some of the other demons. This one, the top one, the third from the left, the second from the right. I believe it's supposed to be changed up. One. Bought it. There was a thing that I was talking about when it was mentioning the egg. That's what I thought. Wow. All right, yeah. This is the good one. Let's see that This is from a university in Berlin, Department of History and Culture. This is a dissertation. About here. I think you'll find this interesting. I didn't get a chance to read it this morning. And was that you that were talking about how they looked at women? Or was that Shaman that was talking about that?
Say what now?
Was talking about women, the way women were and how they were used, and that they were always accused. No matter what they did, people looked at them as witches. I don't know if that was you guys I was talking to.
No, I don't think you were talking about that. We were talking about these bowls earlier with Shaman.
Yeah.
And we can kind of get into some of the metaphysical aspects of the bowls, maybe different kinds of bowls through other cultures. Like my bowls, for example, are a totally different kind of bowl than what these bowls are, and how, one thing that we talked about that was very interesting. You said that a lot of these bowls are dedicated to entrapping the spirit Lilith. Okay. And we were talking about how that is a extremely highly evolved, extremely powerful spiritual being, and it doesn't trap them like a rabbit in a cage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We were talking about how space and time does not exist, and you have to understand that just like the Creator does not grant you time, the Creator grants you moments. That's one thing that kind of stuck with me from y'all's conversation earlier with the shaman. And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around how the bowls trap the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because space and time does not exist. If those bowls truly trap the spirit Lilith, then how are there so many other people that dedicate and work with to that particular spirit? So it's not a trap in the essence of like I said, a rabbit in a trap. It I would say it's more akin to maybe a banishing or trapping the moment in which that spirit decided to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a way to explain it.
This is interesting, right? Some of these things are exchange of fortune. So these agreements will be like, for your ailment, you're taking, say, for example, a sheep. Let's say a rabbit, right? A rabbit. Everybody knows rabbits make lots of babies, all types of shit like that. They're a fertile creature, right? spell would be done, and it would trade. It would trade off what the rabbit has for what the human ailment is. Right? Let me read this. Against the dangers of miscarriage or delivery complications to a parturient, she was replaced with a healthy thing. You gather a shoot, you pour it out below, and as a new thorn which has sprouted on brickwork, and you say as follows: you have received your gift. Give me the plant of life, so that the fetus of so, or so daughter of so, and so may come out straight away. You say this, and then you pull out its root and its crown without looking behind you, or speaking to anyone whatsoever. You spin it onto a band and tie it. If you bind it on her left thigh, you should recover. It goes farther on this stuff. It says the creation of a figurine. The figurine acted as a substitute for a parturient. Any manipulation executed on the figurine was intended to relieve the parturient and pass the disease from her to the figurine. Right? So it says this concept of passing a disease, a demon, or a spirit onto a figurine was also common in many of the Mesopotamian rituals. At noon, you put seed grain on the crossroads, and when you hang it from a window, and then the pregnant woman rubs her womb and breast with it. Then on the day of labor pains, the girl grinds it, and then they make it into dough with the water of her labor pains. And then you make a figurine of a man, or you make a figurine of a woman. You go indoors until midnight. At midnight, you throw it into the streets. She then enters our house, says the essence of magical art. Since we are dealing with magical activities, I would like to take a mythological break at this point to discuss 3 tools that might help us better understand the Mesopotamian magical cosmos, as well as the magical world reflected in the Incantation. Our point of view in this research regarding Jewish and Mesopotamian magic uses the definition of the field as a set of beliefs and practices which aim to change reality within a culture-dependent context. In the magical cosmos, there are 3 forces that have a potential of changing reality. The first 2 are sympathetic magic reflected in acts based on similarity, where they produce light. Contagion magic reflected in acts based on contact, where a part continues to affect the whole. James George Fraser coined these terms as the 2 forces fueling back. In his book, The Golden Bow, Fraser writes, if we analyze the principles of thought on which magic is based, they will probably be found to resolve themselves into 2. First, that light produces light, and that an effect resembles its cause. And second, that thing which had once been in contact with each other contact to act on each other at the distance after the physical contact has been severed. The formal principle may be called the law of similarity. The latter, the law of contact, or contagion. From the first of these principles, namely the law of similarity, the magician infers that he can produce any effect he desires merely by imitating. From the second, he infers that whatsoever he does to a material object will affect equally the person with whom the object was once in contact, whether it formed part of his body or not. Do you
Okay, interesting.
You got anything to add on to that? That is very interesting. It's kind of mind-boggling, but yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple. I guess I got a couple points on that. So the way that this stuff works, if you really, really want to know the deal, okay. I believe in the beginning you were talking about animals and transferring certain ailments to the animal. Okay, now that I think is more complicated than the figurines. Okay, I think that you have to remember the first law of the universe is that the universe is mental. Okay,
Yep.
and that we are all spiritual beings having a human existence or experiencing a human existence. And being spiritual beings, you have the, what's the word? I'm having a brain fart here. You have the, it's possible for you to tap into your own godhood because you are a spirit. Okay. I can't think of the word right now that I'm trying to say. So it's hard to think of words and talk about this shit when it's late at night.
Yeah.
But understanding this, thank you, P. I appreciate it. That figurine is a low magic tool to help you realize your own metaphysical mental power. Okay. So if you believe with the vigor of a child, okay, the enchantment of children is super strong. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this. And I've got a great story if anyone has any questions about the enchantment of children. Okay. It's because they haven't been defiled by the earth, their beliefs. They believe 110%. There is no question in their beliefs. Imagine
Right.
remember when you was a kid, you believed in Santa Claus. You fucking believed that shit. I used to stay up and try to like stay up so I could see Santa, you know? Um, so being able to tap into that childish belief, and I mean that in a good way,
Uh-huh.
sort of helps you manifest your own cure. You believe that it passed on to the figurine, so be it. Now, I think when there's an actual living vessel, I think this does get into foreign spiritual entities, um, where maybe a spiritual parasite that is ailing you could be possibly passed on to another living creature, like a chicken or a rabbit. I think you were saying a rabbit or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that there are ways. I think that being strong-willed, that's sort of my go-to is inner strength.
Right.
Being strong-willed, I think is probably your most important ingredient in getting rid of a spiritual parasite, or like I like to call, which I've coined this term, a spiricite, okay? A true demon, a fiend, something that's not good, because not all demons are evil like people think. But
Right.
spiritual parasites are malevolent. They are parasitic. They do feed on you. Okay, they want nothing good for you. They want to consume you.
Right.
So getting rid of something like that, I think the first step is having a strong will. Now we can get into other techniques, but I think that is the most important one.
Right on. So basically how like a child's will or a child's imagination itself, it's so strong and so pure that things could easily, I guess you would say, what we would try to do whatever ritual or thing that we're trying to accomplish. The child, with a child mind, it would be more easier and more effective because the less interference from like the world, like, you know what I mean? As a
That's
child
right.
gets older, their mind gets more clouded, I guess, or something like that, right?
Well, I'll tell you an awesome story. Okay, so I don't normally lose my cool, but I lost my cool. I ain't gonna get into why, but I lost my shit. And with me being a powerful, knowledgeable occultist, I fucking knew better. And that's why we always say ignorance is bliss. Shit, life doesn't get easier when you learn the occult. It gets fucking harder because you know better and you see shit coming. And I just, for some dumbass reason, I said, fuck it. Long story short, I cut a super deep cut in my forearm. I mean, super deep. I had to go get 5 stitches. I'm talking about way past the sweet meat. The shit never hurt. That's how deep it was. I was past the fucking pain receptors and everything. Shit was real deep. Blood was everywhere. So I went and got 5 stitches, and it started healing up pretty good. And my daughter, who isn't even 2 yet, you know, she would see my boo boo, and she would say, "Kiss it, make it better." And she'd kiss it, and she'd rub on it. Okay, this is after it healed. You know what I'm saying? It was just a line there, and it was really numb.
Yeah.
And I swear that weekend, after that weekend, I gained back all the sensation where the cut was. After my daughter believed that she was kissing it and making it better. Okay, she's not even 2. And I say this because you got to think, children are God. They are so close to the source that they haven't been, you know, tainted by the earth. You know, this is a fucked up place we live. And that's what you have to realize, and why the enchantment of children is so powerful, because they are the fucking source. They are the universe, fresh out the oven. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh out the box. Exactly.
Right.
Fresh out the box. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Lacquer Black's in the building. I love Lacquer Black. She asks great fucking questions.
Yeah. Is it true that heightened frequency can banish the spirit sound bowls, binary beats? Oh, she's talking about.
Yeah, we can get in. I mean, if it's okay with you, Killer, we can get into that.
Yeah, we go ahead. Yeah.
All right, Lacquer Black. You missed the wrong fucking show. You're supposed to be on my fucking show, but that's all right. So as far as heightened frequencies can banish the spirit sites, thank you for using my word. That's so great. Sound bowls, binaural beats. An actual, it just depends. It fucking depends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to think about it like this. Let's use reality. Okay. So there's different levels of spiritual parasites. Okay. It's just like getting bitten by a fire ant or getting stung by a fucking a hornet. Those are 2 different things. Okay, so I think that they're very good at getting rid of negative vibrations or negative energies or vibrations that may be counterintuitive to the vibrations that you're seeking to put out into the universe in order to achieve either peace or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Okay, and I think for some of the lower level conscious spiritual sentience that may be malevolent, yeah, I would say that you're right. Okay, but let's say that, like, let's say that there is a powerful practitioner that is very malevolent here on earth, alive, and they put something on you. I don't think your fucking sound bowls and your binaural beats are going to help you there, so it all depends. The sticky trap can catch the fly, but what if a bat flew in? That sticky trap ain't gonna do shit. What if a fucking vulture flew in your house? You think your sticky trap's gonna save you then?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's the second law of correspondence. As above, so below. I use reality as my guidebook to the spiritual.
So you using? I think I read that a little while ago, saying like you're damn. I don't know how to word it. Like you just said, you using reality to understand and deal with the spirit world, because it's the same thing, right?
It's the same motherfucking thing. That's right. The macrocosm is just like the microcosm. You know, we are stardust. Y'all ever seen where they take someone's eyeball and they take like and they take some, I mean, just look at the sun, for example, where you've got the circle and then you've got the light coming off of it. Is the same as your iris, your eye, or like the veins in your body, how those are fractals. And then you look at the veins in your body and then you do a giant screenshot of like a river basin and you see where the water creates fractals in the earth. It's the same shit. It's the same patterns. You are the universe. You know?
Yeah. Kid, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I wanted that's interesting. She was talking about the soul, the sound, and the binaural beats and stuff.
I can really take y'all down through there if you're not careful.
Yeah, like I went to sound engineering school, right?
Okay.
We learned about frequencies and stuff, and your ear hears from one frequency to the next frequency. Like, you know what I mean? There's only a certain range that the human ear can hear.
Right.
All that range is audible, but it doesn't mean the sound is not there. The sound is there. And the experiment that our instructor did, he used an oscillator, which makes a sine wave, right? Like you hear that. You turn it up, it goes up in pitch. You turn it down, go, and it gets so low to the point where it's inaudible. And it's almost like the point where it goes out of range, it's almost like you're blasting off into something.
Yeah.
And he would turn the volume all the way up, right? And he got the frequency past our too high for our ears, right? But guess what? You can feel it. Can't hear shit, but you can feel it. And you feel the pressure on your ears.
Yeah.
And like, you ever went to a club or a concert and you standing right in front of the damn fucking speaker, and how that shit
I have actually
hits you, just rumbles your body.
I was at a Yellow Wolf concert, the only concert I've ever been to in my life, of someone famous. And yeah, I was standing right there up front stage in front of the speaker, and it was blowing my fucking ear out.
Yep. And what's weird, like, you stay there. You usually don't move. Like, it's weird. Like, it can hurt your ears, but you'll stay there. It almost like it traps you in the spot. My experience, just thinking about it from like my past film concerts and stuff. And when he turned it down, you would feel the rumble. And to the point where we're like, all right, we get it, motherfucker. Turn that shit off. And it's so high, you feel it thumping your body. It's thumping you. Now, check this out. He told us that there was a case where a man got charged with attempted murder. He was an audio engineer. And he took an oscillator, big sound system thing, and put it in the basement of a house or a building. Maybe it was a two-family house or something. And the people that he didn't like lived on the bottom floor or something, right? And he put these speakers underneath their floors and had that shit going for weeks. And the people in the house started to get sick. Just uncontrollably vomiting. It got to the point where people just be vomiting for no reason. And it was because of that. Because of that sound that they couldn't hear. And it got to the point where it actually affected their body. So is there a type of magic system where people use something like that? Or can you associate that with something that isn't like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing, but it might not be sound.
Yeah. So it plays, I always go back to the laws of the universe. We understand that vibration is a law, that nothing stands still. Everything moves constantly. Even statues are, their atoms are moving. Okay, and then we also have the law of rhythm. Okay, which is what these sound waves are. They're a particular rhythm. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm just reading what Lacquer Black is saying. I definitely want to jump on that. Why are certain groups definitely want to jump on that right after this. I would
Yep.
say that the sound waves that you're experiencing that may not be all that wholesome to the human body. You're talking about them bombing and stuff. Well, those are rhythms that we can measure scientifically. Okay, so understanding that, let's say, putting root work out, you're putting energy out in it, and it is in the form of a wave, just like the law of observation, which I've touched on a whole bunch. You
Right.
know, that when matter is not being observed, and that includes all five senses, it reacts or it acts like a wave. Okay, and what is transferred on a wave but data, information? We're communicating right now on a wave, which you've heard me say before.
Water. When you're on
Huh?
a lake, right, and you could be on
Yeah.
the other side of the lake. Like, I'm on Long Island Sound, right? I can literally hear motherfuckers mad far away, like
Yeah.
talking like they're right next to you, talking just like they're right next to you, and it
Right.
just shows how your voice, the water travel, like moves your voice across.
Let me break this down for you in a way that everyone can understand. So let's think about the atoms of water. Let's think about the atoms of air. Let's think about sound waves. Okay, the sound waves have to travel. If you were in space, there's no atoms in order for the sound waves to travel upon. So, understanding that water is thicker than air, answer me this. Is it easier to run on soft sand, which is sand that's very loose, where the atoms are very separated, or is it easier to run on wet sand, where the sand is condensed and the atoms are close together?
Definitely wet sand, because I ran across, like, I walked a long ass distance shit, and at one time, like, we go fishing and we was this
Yeah.
deep ass sand, yo, that shit was killing my motherfucking ass. I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
See
You know,
those-
it's harder to run on the softer sand. That's why it's harder for sound waves to travel on air than it is water. Sound on water travels like a motherfucker.
and could
You know,
you
I grew up on the lake, and I was taught from a young age that you can't be talking so damn loud on the end of the dock because people across the lake can hear you.
yeah, yep,
Yeah,
absolutely, clear as day, clear as day.
clear as day. Like you standing right beside them. It's nuts.
Now I just
Oh,
thought,
this is weird.
like you said, the loose sand, right, and then the
Yep.
packed sand. Packed sand is easy to run on. The loose sand is harder, which makes things not pleasant, or let's say negative.
Yeah.
Right? Can I do that? Now, with water, so like you throw a rock in the pond, right? You're
Yep.
gonna get the high frequency first, and as it goes away from it, the frequency gets lower, and because the wave, the sine wave, it goes up and amplifies, and then it cuts. Then it has the middle ground, and then it drops. You know what I'm saying? Then it comes back up, and depending on how close that wave is, just like a wave, you draw it with your hand, just like a wave, like a letter N. And the
Yeah.
closer the lines are together, that's the higher the frequency. That's the fastest that vibration is going. And as it gets wider, the vibration is slower. Know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like people will say, like this shit. Look at weed, right? They say like a sativa is like a high. That would be like a high frequency, like weed. It keeps
Yeah.
you up.
And an indica is a lower frequency.
The lower frequency.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
So damn, that fucks my whole mind up and shit. But If I can
Hey,
really
that's
concentrate
what I'm
on
here
that,
for, man.
that'd be real powerful with dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
Even like in everyday life and shit.
Well, hey, Killer, you know, with Lacquer Black's question, we need Ratchet Craig for this because he's got the perfect answer. And,
He
then,
always got-
and this is the answer. Black people like magical shit too much.
Yep.
You know?
Tell us. You want us to believe some shit? Tell us the craziest ass story possible and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's what Ratchet Craig said. He said black people like magical shit too much.
We're not Africans, we Israelites. We came from all the way over that motherfucker.
You know, you're talking about a monotheistic God, but then you want to do black magic and study the occult. Like, choose one already. God damn.
Yeah. That's because I ran into a few brothers that claim Torah, but yeah. I don't know if y'all remember my jinn story. I told you that my Turkish boy told me about cats and shit. Cats,
Yeah.
like a jinn.
Yeah. I know what jinn are, but I don't have a lot of experience with jinn. You know, it's not really my my expertise. That claimed Torah, but was jinn. So what are you saying, Lacquer Black? You saying that they were like possessed by jinn? What do you mean? That they claimed Torah but was jinn? So something that, let's see here. What do you mean but was jinn? I don't understand the question. Like, if you could please extrapolate, I would appreciate it. So we can burn their ass up. All right, let's see what our girl Lacquer Black's talking about. Oh. No, they were actual jinn. Damn, Lacquer Black, you need to jump on and tell us your story. If that's all right with Killer.
Lacquer Black got a bunch of them. I just fuck with you, Black. I be messing with her and shit. I know I be making her ass mad and shit. So I like fucking with her. But yeah, put that together. Let me read this second part. There's two more parts and stuff I got to read. That first one was cool. We got on all this stuff. So let's see where this one takes us.
Hey, would you like for me to read it, man? I'll read it and carry
all right.
Carry my load on here for you.
Okay.
Just put me on. I'll read it for everybody.
Yeah, this is the next one.
I'll earn my keep. You know what I'm saying?
Sympathetic magic.
All right, class. Sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic is an act of magic performed on an object which affects an essence that is similar to it. In the ritual performed on parturients suffering from excessive bleeding, which we have just discussed, the magical act is based on an element of binding. An analogy is created between the ties made in the string and the complications of the delivery, so that the magical concept behind this act is that just as the ties of the string are untied, so too the complication of the delivery are resolved, and the path is cleared for the woman to deliver her baby. A variety of Mesopotamian rituals was based on this element of similarity in creating figurines that represented demons, spirits, witches, and witchcraft. Derived manipulations were okay, I'll stop right there. Okay.
Analogies created because I know I see some ritual spells and stuff where it involves the tying of string.
Yeah.
And the string is tied a certain way.
Right. Well, what I would say to that, and why it's called sympathetic, is you got to understand. I'm not a woman. I've never experienced it, but for any women listening that have given birth, that's a very hard and emotional time, And I would think that during this process, you would latch on to anything that helps you, thus making your will or your intent, your desire, very strong. Because we got to remember that will and desire cancel each other out in the everyday. So by sympathizing that your burden is just like the low magic tools implemented, which would be the string tied into the knots, such so on and so forth. And that string representing the complications that is unvisible, because you can't see what's going on up your hoo-ha while you're giving birth. Okay. So that being said, the inside of you is like a wave. Thus, your mental. So if there were any complications, you manifest the complications to no longer be there, just like untying the string. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow, that's deep. How they said it. It says the analogy between the ties made in the string and the complications of the delivery, so that the magical concept behind this act is that just as the ties of the string are untied, so too the complication of the delivery is all. Like, I get it, but it's like that shit's fucking my head up. It's making my head explode.
Yeah, well, the string is the sympathetic conduit.
Right.
You want your complications to be untied like the string is. Thus, there is a manifestation connection between, because remember, shit don't just appear in this universe except for when it's not being observed. Okay?
Yeah.
This I can fucking prove. So understanding that maybe the complications that are not seen. Now I am just pulling this from my ass. I'm just trying to connect the dots here. You can manifest the change, the sympathetic conduit being the rope, because you are in pain and you're having complications and your child could die, you could die. Very emotional time. So all of the bullshit, like I really wish I could make an extra $100 tomorrow, but you don't really care. Okay, but if you're like, I don't make $100 tomorrow, I can't fucking feed my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of, which plays into the generational law of care. You care so much. Thus, that is the sympathetic fuel that allows you to manifest things to fruition. And the string is like the sympathetic conduit.
That shit's fucking me up right now. That took me for that's like, I mentioned something like that before with what I do, like, right? And like how you said, like with the care makes it more quicker, I guess, or like, right, I did this my thing, right? And I forgot. Usually I don't forget, but I forgot.
Yeah.
And the reward was more abundant. I'll just put it like that without disclosing anything. You know what I mean? So like, I don't abuse it. And I, like I said earlier on the last stream, I said it's more of my needs and not my wants. And I fear asking for wants.
Right.
Or trying to manifest wants. I put it like that. Try to manifest wants. I fear it. Where I feel more comfortable dealing with the needs. And the needs always come through the way I want it or the way I expect it. You know what I'm saying? But time where I didn't pay any attention, I forgot. Like, know what I mean? And all the stuff, all these things started coming. And I was like, oh shit, like, And it wasn't until later on, it was all, I felt kind of crazy because it was almost like I didn't respect it or acknowledge it when it was happening, like I would expect it and acknowledge it any other time. You know what I'm saying? But since I forgot, it seemed like it was more abundant, or I just saw more like things that was supposed to happen than what I would have seen normally if I was looking for it. You know how they say if you like you waiting on a time or something, like if you keep looking at the clock, that shit rolling slow as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
If you go do something else and keep your mind off of that shit, go quick.
Right. Well, that kind of plays into the conversation we had with Shaman earlier today. You know, time and space only exists here in the third dimension, okay? Which he sort of said was the special ed dimension, okay?
Yeah.
The special boy dimension,
right.
You know, the special treatment dimension, okay? But we got to remember, you're not a human having a spiritual experience, no matter how much you fucking want to be. You're a spirit having a human experience. So that is literally your time slowing down because time does not exist for your spirit.
Yep. That's a lot of rock around. Like that shit. I gotta ponder like a motherfucker on this shit. Oh man. Shit. Let's get through this next part and shit. See what this
all right, let's get it.
This
Dr.
is good.
Black's talking, she's saying some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
But it's your show. You the boss.
No, I thought I was gonna make you my official reader. But I guess that ain't work. I work on that one. He said the act of out of the figurines, which would create a connection between different entities in reality. The act of a sympathetic magic through a figurine was common in rituals against witchcraft and witches. Manipulations to the figurine helped gain control of the witch in real life, sending the curse put by her back in her direction. We can find parts of this sort of a ritual in some formulae in the incantation bowls, such as in the case of Gus Nazduk, daughter of Ahab, which will be discussed below. Syllables and sounds which are undefinable and meaningless, at least to us, were used based on imitation and are a symbol of culture-dependent phenomena, which was known within the social circles of magic users and practitioners. These noises and onomatopoeic sounds, let's see that word. Fuck is that? That's weird. Great. Just tell me some more shit that I don't know what the fuck is talking about. Words like bang or cool. American English.
Onomatopoetic sounds.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I looked up the definition. I still don't know that shit. So using or relating to onomatopoeia. Same
onomatopoetic. I think if you break the word down, it probably means like onomatopoeias, but maybe in a rhythmic fashion.
It says words like bang and cool.
Yeah. Different. That's a new word for
me. Oh, so like you're not describing anything. It's like a sound. Or like you're saying, oh, that's cool.
Like onomatopoeia, like bang, boom, bow.
Yeah, it doesn't really represent anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I think that's what they're saying. And the poetic is like it has a rhythm.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever. Let's just put two words together and roll with it.
Yep. Onomatopoetic sounds, whatever the fuck that's. Incorporated as phonic effects. Created control and ability to drive out demons, spirits, and various diseases. We find many and applicable words written on the incantation bowls referring to the discipline of Nomia Barber. A person name was also considered to be a vital part of that person's essence and existence. So person name is also considered as a vital part of that person's essence and existence. A name actually contains the person's entire fate, and therefore attempts were made to discover all a person's names and any nickname associated with it. Knowing the name of the supernatural entity causing the person misery was the key to gaining control over it. We encountered this phenomenon of magical formula, listing a chain of names, nicknames, and attributes of the entity being driven away, and the incantation goals, often in the text of the exorcism of the demoness Lilith.
Contagion.
Contagion magic. This form of magic is performed through control over physical matter, where the part represents the whole. Hair, nails, mucus, or pieces of cloth, which represent the person from whom they were taken, continue to have an effect on him or her even when they are detached. As we saw in the ritual performed on the Partridge experiencing complications, the asipu creates a figurine in which one of the ingredients was amniotic fluid. This representation of the nutrient is signified by the magical transference of the disease onto the figurine, acting as a substitute for the parchment. As soon as the figurine was thrown out into the streets, the diseases were abolished and the parchment covered. So it talked about like how the hair, the nails, and mucus, all like things that leave your body. Like, you know what I mean? Touch your hair.
I got some pretty crazy stuff to say about this. It's nuts though. It's gonna warp your mind a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, first, if you don't mind, Killer, your boy down in the chat talking some fuck shit about our girl Lacquer Black. It's not cool. But yeah, he's acting like a little hoe. But anyway, so let me blow y'all's mind with this. So I have in my experience, this is true. Yeah, fuck that dude. Fuck him. So this is true. Whenever you have a piece, let's say you have a target. Let's say you're doing some root work. Let's not say it's a curse, but let's say you're doing, like our boy Shalthazan said, Killer B, he calls it a minor hex, which is like you're trying to push someone in a certain direction. Okay. Having a piece of your target is a surefire way of getting it done fast. And this is why I think that. Now, I'm pulling this from my ass, but my mind just works different than most people. So I'm just going to put y'all on some game. And y'all can try to discredit me if you like. I don't see how you're going to be able to. But I welcome anyone to try. If you understand that time does not exist for a spirit, and let's say Shaka's Herbal Lube was acting like a bitch. And since he wants to act like a bitch, I'm going to make him bleed like a bitch. Okay? Which means I'm going to make him I'm going to do something to make him fucking bleed from his ass or something. Okay? That's a very popular curse here in South Carolina. If I had a piece of his clothing, okay, he'd be really fucked in. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it like this. Because time does not exist, that piece of clothing has a direct link to him, because to a spirit, that that clothing is always, I'm trying to say this without sounding stupid, is always with him? Would that be a good way for everyone to
Yeah.
understand? Because time doesn't exist. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's a direct link. It's like opening the doorway. Say, hey, here he is, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I do work for
Yeah.
my own mental manifestation, you know, I like to see someone's face. I like to see know their birthday. I like to know their name, and I even like to know where they're at because it's very important.
Yeah.
Had me with time, lost me with spirit. Time space only exists in the third dimensions. Time space does not exist for spirit. Does that make sense? And I can prove that. I can prove that if you like.
What up, Nkosi? Ichigo.
Oh man, we got some cool motherfuckers coming here. I like Nakosi. He's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Ichigo. Yeah, man. I'm glad you got it. Cool. Cool.
So
You know, and then you having a piece of someone like their hair or nails or mucus or whatever. I think that even goes deeper because then you have like a hereditary line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they say, I don't know if it's true in all of the orders of like Hollow, but I heard that when someone gets initiated, they drop their blood in the Naganga. So the Naganga knows who you are.
Yeah,
And,
that's a surefire way of always having that door open for sure.
and I believe like you can become part of it or something like that if you die.
I mean, and so what they putting the blood in again? What'd you say they're putting the blood in?
Naganga in the pot that's supposed to
In a
house.
pot.
Yeah, in the pot that's supposed to house the spirit.
Right.
Spirit like is entrapped in this pot. That's your slave, basically. Fucking slave.
Yeah.
I guess it's like a membership thing. Like, hey, you can drop your blood up, fucker. Or like when they
Right.
stab you, they will wipe it with the blood and they'll put it in the doctor. And I heard, I don't know how true it is. Like when you die, like they're able to summons you and stuff like that.
Well, like I mean, that's a direct hereditary DNA biological link.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a part of you. You know, time never exists, so you're always there dropping that blood in that bowl to a spirit.
This is crazy. So, contagion magic is considered an illegal form of magic in most cases. It was performed secretly by witches and who manipulated substances that the victim had unknowingly ingested. But it's often people with like I guess poisons or something too. It says food and drink. It is important to note that the witch was the one being accused of this act of magic. And this gendered reference is explicit. She was mostly accused of illegal contagion magic rather than sympathetic magic, which was perceived as a legitimate healing method, while the former was allegedly damaging and always performed by witches. The latter was therapeutic, performed by the male healer, that I see. So it's saying like when you dealing with like you taking shit from people's body and like you know what I mean, hair and stuff to do some shit. That was like a legal form of magic. Where if you were doing it to heal somebody and stuff like that, that wouldn't be illegal. So like how we see here, like the ancient Jewish people and people of that region, were all dealing with these like magic bowls. You know what I mean? And to help their family or protect their house or protect something, whatever they got, they want to protect the property. And but when the things were used like physical things, that was used to manipulate people and stuff like that. That was looked different. So I can see why the Bible would say like, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." Like, you know what I mean? It's not talking about magic. It's talking about somebody that's trying to damage, that's trying to harm you, right?
Right.
So the magic of exchange of fortunes. This is when it goes into that thing with the animals and stuff. I would like to suggest a third force of magic of the two that defined by Fraser, a power of exchange of fortunes. I believe this is the concept of magic perfectly reflects the essence of the conception of magic in Mesopotamia. This applies to the incantation bowls in particular, and is very dominant in the curse bowl genre, as we shall see later on. According to the Mesopotamian conception, Simtu fate or fortune is reflected in everyone's personal experience, as well as in the social and cosmic. This term should not be confused with what nowadays falls under the definition of fortune in Western society. Rather, we should think about the verdict set by the gods regarding a person, an animal, a plant, or any other being, which determines the path of events. The fate or the sum of the fortunes that are being on Earth and beyond. This idea of fate is therefore an important principle in the cosmic order. And the cosmos, in which many signs, omens allow a glimpse into the future, fate is part of the scheme of phenomena. And in a semi-deterministic world, this is a world in which omens are inevitable, but the events indicated by them can be changed in reality through the use of magical tools. So, but the events indicated by them can be changed in reality through the use of magical tools. The notion that future events are not yet determined and can be diverted or changed, creating an approved reality through spells and rituals, creates the belief that fate is not casual. It's not a casual concept. And that is interchangeable and fluid rather than fixed and solid. Since fate can be changed, singular fortunes can also be exchanged. One for the other. The fortune designated for one person in exchange for that of another person, or fortune of a person in exchange for that of an animal, plant, a spirit, or an inanimate object. Below are, for example, some texts used in magical ritual, which reflects the idea of exchange of fortune in the case of women.
I got some cool stuff to say on this, Killer. Are we going to have time to answer questions though? We got a lot of cool questions, but I don't want to get off the rails.
Yeah, go ahead. Goddamn, please ask me some shit. I have a
well,
legit.
I would just like to touch. Yeah, I would just like to touch on Fambo Rambo, and I appreciate everyone. Everything that everyone said is true for sure. So I would say that these people who put out all this negative energy and they say that there's some sort of witch or some sort of sorcerer or something like that, they do that to, I guess they get off on it. Maybe they were picked on a lot and they are addicted to the power or believing that they have the power. I'm not even saying that they do. So, a lot of people out here who are very evil and put bad intentions and they're always talking about cursing motherfuckers. Well, you got to think about it like this. Is it easier to destroy something or to create something? Okay. Someone that be throwing curses left and right, they do that because they don't have the Mac to create. So I would say this. Yeah. So I would say this. Be worried. Go ahead, Kill. I'm sorry.
That's Judah Nazareth right there. He doesn't have any skill or talent, or he's not creative, or you know what I mean? So he'll use people and destroy people that have what he wants, or destroy the thing that he wants from the person somebody doesn't else have it. somebody else doesn't have it. So it's like they're I lost track of how I was trying to explain that shit.
Yeah.
Like you talking. Go ahead, talk.
Well,
Yeah, that's it.
so I would say be more worried for the person that creates things. You know, if they were to put a curse out, you know, one thing that our homie Medicine Man, you should put a link of his channel, Killer. Medicine Man, awesome practitioner. I actually look up to him. Okay, he's got a lot more years on his belt, a lot more experience on his belt, and I really like talking to him. You know, he's really good at explaining stuff, and he says, you know, the power that you need to throw a curse, because you got to harness that energy, all that bad energy. How much Mac do you really have? The Mac, do you really have what it takes to really put a curse out there? Because you have to harness that energy.
Right.
You have to summon that energy. That's not an easy thing, you know. So I welcome someone that says that they do curses all the time, blah blah blah. I welcome them to actually create something. You know, like on the channel before, I saw Killer B did one about me. I created love. I changed their stars. That shit is not easy. Okay. Yeah. It's just like me, for example, I run a tree service. I destroy trees. It takes 30, 40, 50 years for these trees to grow, and I destroy them in one day. So what's easier? You know? You have to think about it like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about these people out here talking about that there's some powerful witch doctor putting curses and spells on everyone. You know, I really wouldn't be too worried. The ones that are twisted, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, if you're twisted, if your mind's twisted and something's not right about you, your work is not going to be right. You know, it's kind of like shooting a shotgun with a sawed-off shotgun. You know what I'm saying? Not very accurate. But someone that's tuned in is like a sniper rifle. You know what I'm saying? Everything lines up. The numbers are right. The omens are right. The day, the time is right. The situation, the psychology is right. Not just for the client, but for the target. You know? Let's see. Oh, excellent question. Why are people of light or empaths targeted by lower vibrational beings, narcissists? Well, it kind of, if anyone on here watched Jordan Peterson, you know, I actually have sort of a problem. They're just the same as the people that always throw curses. Oh, I'm a light worker. Oh, I'm a healer. Oh, I'm a spiritual warrior. You know, these people are usually just as broken as the people that claim to throw curses out at everyone. Okay, they need something to latch onto. And and that's all you do, if all you do is light work, you have no idea how deep your shadow runs. Therefore, you have no point of reference of how actually benevolent you can be.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of like, for example, I'll say this. I grew up very what's the word? Well, let's just say this. My magic is very gray. Okay. I walk a fine line. I play for both the light and the dark. Okay. So, and I've always been like this. I've always been into the taboo. I've always been not afraid of absurdities. Okay, because they're just words. You know, and it's kind of like someone who's really born knowing how to fight, versus someone that is sheltered and maybe they take karate. Okay. Even if that sheltered kid takes karate and maybe I'm getting off subject here and he becomes a black belt, that kid that has to deal with both good and bad and isn't sheltered is going to beat the shit out of that kid that's sheltered.
Yeah.
I hope I'm making sense for everyone.
Yep.
Okay. Am I making sense?
Yep. Totally.
All right. I'm starting out to make sense to myself. I'm trying to keep it there.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, if you don't know how bad it is, you don't know how good you got it.
Right.
That's a good way to say it. And I say that because I grew up with a friend like that. He's a black belt, and I will beat his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he knows it.
Yep.
And that's the same thing, you know. I am a negatively charged individual. It doesn't mean I'm evil. I'm actually quite benevolent and quite understanding and quite compassionate. But it's because I know, you know, I've been down the dark roads and I've gone without eating and I've experienced death and just all this shit that we all are one day going to experience, you know, in one way or another.
Right on. That was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to read a little bit on this, how the ideas of exchange of fortunes. Right?
Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb. Yeah, I had something to say about fortunes too, if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, man. I got off. I was trying to come back to that. So we were talking about fortunes before I answered some questions. All right. Fortunes. This is how it is. In my experience, like I've told everybody, I know Nkosi knows this, like a black knows this. Everything I say is from personal experience. Okay. So we all do have a predestined fate. Okay. You have a fate already lined up for you. That's your stars. We call that your stars. Okay. However, on the contrary, yes, American hero, I'll answer him in a little bit. I've been into some squabbles myself, and we can talk about that. So your fate is predestined. This is true. However, and Killer B has heard me say this once already, but since we're having a very engaged conversation, I will touch on the subject again. You can change your own stars. I call this the warrior's path. I call this walking the red road. I call this taking action. Okay. But just like we all learned in Economy 101 in high school, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You have to sacrifice to change your stars. Unless you were born rich, it's fucking hard to get rich. Is it not? Can I get an amen? Can we just get a whole bunch of amens in the chat real quick? It's fucking hard to get rich.
Yep.
You got to sacrifice time for your family. You got to sacrifice those short-term creature comforts. You know, man, I really would like a double Whopper with cheese, large Coke. You know, when you should just take your ass to the house and eat some ramen because you're trying to get this money.
Right.
You know, that's just a small example. There we go. I like it. Malak, shut the hell up. I like you, man, but you be saying some stupid shit.
American
We're
hero.
no for that Torah mess.
So, have you ever witnessed a magical fight between warlocks?
Oh yes. Oh yes. And I'm not gonna say no names because this shit's touchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've seen other workers try to invite other workers to the ritual site so that they can kill their ass.
Oh, shit.
I've seen people threaten other people with curses, and these motherfuckers was known for curses, and it got to the point where, like, during ritual, this person told the spirits, if anything happens, I will physically go and blow this motherfucker's head off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this shit is really real. This shit is super gangster. Like, you see all the Wiccan and all the people lighting their incense and their light workers and blah 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 blah. But no, the real deal shit is gangster as fuck. You got to be a gangster. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. That's why I knock doors for a living, and I take down fucking giant trees. You know what I'm saying? It's some gangster ass shit. You have to be a certain caliber of human to run with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to be able to take a lot of punishment. You have to have a strong heart. You have to have a strong mind. The shit I've seen, the supernatural shit I've seen, has literally put other people in the fucking mental asylum that were there with me. I haven't seen them since.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this blood out here. And this is just South Carolina. I don't even want to know what goes on in third world countries. This is right here in the United States. I'm from here, where we have a very strong police force and technology and science that could bust your ass.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't get away with shit now.
Y'all want to hear it? I can't say no names, but I can tell y'all some shit.
Yeah.
I've seen people go homeless, people go to jail, prison.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people go in another person's place of business and just, just curse them out, curse everybody out, just spit on the fucking floor. Just some real evil, spiteful shit. Because you got to understand, when you're working with these certain energies, some of these energies are more evolved and much greater than our little fucking humanoid monkey asses. Okay.
Right.
And some of these can trap you in and take you down some roads, especially if you don't have a strong intuition.
Yeah.
That's when you start generating some bullshit, but that shit can get twisted and turn extremely evil and turn you into a twisted, evil motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah. Are you familiar with dreamers? What do you mean, dreamers? But I don't want to get off Killer B subject. We still got some more to get through. We got to get through this reading.
Yeah, we got a little bit more to get through.
Okay.
It's fun stopping for a little bit, and it still ends up like, I don't know if you noticed it, but like a lot of the questions you answered, and then as we read it kind of like back a lot of the stuff up too. Certain things are brought up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the rituals and stuff of exchange. So the ritual against miscarriage, the exchange of fortunes with a she-ass, so like with a male donkey. May what is within you die, so that what is within me may live. It says, a spell inducing the birth of a male baby. Exchange the fortunes with pottery fired in a kiln. Give me your things which are well formed, and so take away from me the things which are not well formed. So the ritual of picking medicinal plants. You have received the present indeed intended for you. Now give me the plant of life. In this context, I would like to discuss the ritual of finding a substitute for a king. The name of this ritual symbolizes the idea of exchange of fortunes in its most aggressive and absolute form. A bad omen revealed during a lunar eclipse meant that a temporary flesh and blood substitute for the king needed to be found. Asar Ahadan, king of Akkad, 681 to 669 BC, was involved in exchange on several occasions. When lunar eclipses were hinting that his life was in danger, his astronomical phenomenon was interpreted as the victory of the demons over the god of the moon, who was the protector of the king. How was the moon god? Okay. Thereby disrupting the cosmic order, the term of magical acts. There were nothing that could be done to change the predicted omens regarding the king. However, individual fortunes of the players could be switched. This course of action held the potential in store of turning over the events which were predicted for the king. The prophecy would indeed come true, but it would affect the substitute king. During the sensitive period of time, the king himself was not allowed to leave the palace and make any public appearances. He was referred to as the Ikari, peasant, to conceal any connection of royalty. The substitute king would wear the real king's clothes and sleep in his bed, a form of contagion magic. When his dangerous time period was over, which lasted anywhere between 2 weeks and 3 months, the substitute king was executed and buried in a royal ceremony. Oh shit, ain't that a bitch? After the funeral, the real king went back to his throne and numerous purification rituals were performed on him. The palace and the kingdom, all of the objects used by the substitute king, such as clothes, sword, scepter, crown, were burnt and replaced with new. Magic of exchange and fortune reflect the attempt to maintain and restore balance, stability, and a static state of a cosmic order, recurring element in Mesopotamian culture. In terms of physics, the state of this system could be defined as a stable equilibrium, meaning that when there is a slight movement on one side of the equilibrium point, a counter reaction is triggered to balance it, restoring the original state. The idea of equilibrium within the magical cosmos is reflected in the forces in which are involved in rituals. Simply fortunes also part of the cosmic order, changing the state of a person, their purification, exorcism, driving spirits away from their house or their body, and their healing were not the end of this process. In order to maintain the cosmic state of equilibrium, the disease that left the body had to move into another, and vice versa. The good fortune in that other body had to move into the first body and fill the void created. So this all talks with the biblical thing with when the priest puts all the sin of Israel in the goat.
Yeah.
And he sends the goat off out into the wilderness.
Yeah, that whole, false king shit, that is the most extreme form of for what this author is considering contagion magic. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it is.
All right, if you don't mind, Killer, I got some shit I can put on. I can put American Hero on game with. So there's the metaphysical properties of this crystal or that crystal, but there's also the fucking physical properties of these goddamn crystals. Okay, let me put you on some game. In order for us to even talk right now over this phone, with there being radios and antennas on the cell towers close to wherever you're at, going up into space, to satellites, in the transmitters, there are little cuts of quartz crystal that are cut in certain widths in order to produce a certain frequency. Okay, there's quartz. I don't know if there's quartz in our phones, but there's gold and stuff like that, and different precious minerals and metals. But you have to understand that there is really something physically there about crystals, especially like quartz, which we all know that quartz is sort of the end all be all. It's sort of the what's the word I'm looking for? It's the a quartz can resonate whatever you put into it. It's like an empty cup. I'm looking for the word, but I can't think of it right now. And I'm actually not really into quartz. I'm not really into crystals that much, to be honest with you. But But I mean, I know some certain things, you know, like hematite, which is good for protection, and they say this because hematite has a reflective quality, and they say that evil doesn't like its own reflection. So that's the protective qualities of hematite, from what I've heard. Um, and then you've got like amethyst, which is good for your psychic abilities. And then there's facts. Mine have vibrated a bond with all mine. Excellent. Yeah, you know, if it's cool for you, Lacquer Black, you know, if you like it, I love it. You know, um, I usually if I do use any stone, it's usually a quartz. I have an affinity with tiger's eye. I'd say that that's a very powerful stone that's good for taking action. So I do use it a little bit.
Huh.
Yeah, quartz is everywhere, especially where I'm at in South Carolina. There's a lot of quartz around here.
I found a huge one in the woods.
Yeah,
In my
no
town.
doubt.
And
No doubt.
too big for me to take out and shit. I was like, I ain't carrying that motherfucker. It was cool. It was like black. It was like a black like quartz. It was like red. I mean not red, but white like stripes going through it. It was crazy. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah,
It stuck out from everything else.
that's right, Nikosi. That's kind of what I was getting at. I didn't want to say strength of the warrior. I didn't want to sound like a cornball, but that's what it is. Yeah, I'd rather say take action. That's one thing, you know. I always preach. You can be an occultist without being a fucking cornball. You know what I'm saying? You can still be cool as fuck. Um, yeah, I want to get the shaman on an episode. I actually already have the intro music picked out. I'm gonna play Riff Raff's Tiptoe 3.
Okay.
Have you heard that shit yet, Killer B?
Wait, what is it again?
Riff Raff Tiptoe number 3. His song Tiptoe 3.
Nah, I ain't hear that.
That's gonna be the intro to an episode I'm gonna do with the shaman, because the shaman, which is my spiritual father that Killer B knows quite well, and actually have a couple of episodes with him on my channel. Do we have him on as a guest on any of your videos, Kill? I can't remember.
Nah, Shaman isn't on any of them.
God damn, we got to get him on your shit. But
Yeah.
he's very knowledgeable in stones because he owned a metaphysical shop for like 11 years.
Yeah.
So he sold a lot of them, so he knows a lot about it. But y'all look up Riff Raff Tiptoe 3. He's talking about he don't care about money anymore. Pay him in jewels while he's pouring up a foe.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta check that song out.
Yeah, I do gotta check that out. I wanted to see what else. Yeah, if anybody hit that subscribe button that's not already a subscriber, some of this information.
Yeah, Lacquer Black, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna get the shaman on the crystals and stones. So if you ain't subscribed to Killer B, you need to do that ASAP. And then you need to take your happy ass over to my channel and subscribe there too.
Yep, this channel, you can go right into the home screen of my YouTube channel. You'll see Siberia's channel right under the featured channels on the right hand side. You'll see Siberia.
Because we're gonna start really pumping out some good content and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with my clients and stuff, and all my work going well. It's pretty great. And it's hard to show y'all, you know, just how real this shit is over a YouTube video. You know, you have to take our word for it. Yeah, those pictures could be, you know, I could have did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have some faith and take my word. But you know, Killer B knows because I talk to him almost every day. and I keep him updated. You know, he's he definitely knows what's up, and it's just hard to portray that over a YouTube video.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. The what are they? Non-human speakers. People actually hear demons speak, or this might be talking about the incantation on the bowl. That's a demon, because I think they use demons to trap, or I don't know about trap, but to get rid of or banish other entities. I believe that. Said demons refer to themselves in first person when identifying themselves. A popular speaker found in the Norse form of many incantation bowls is the king of demons of Easter, Bagdana. Since he carries the title of a leader, he is legally entitled to write in the Norse document in first person. Angels sometimes identify themselves in first person. Again, with angel stands in the presence of the Lord of the world, with regard to the actually, I played this video. I didn't watch it, so. Oh yeah, make sure you guys go check out Swamp Water Roots TV. I put the link. It's Medicine Man's channel. You scroll up in the chat, you see the link for it.
Yeah, go sign up with him too. Medicine Man he's the real deal.
Yep. Sure.
And he's more into like meditation and stuff than I am too. Very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. Y'all want the real deal? We'll bring it to you for sure.
Yep. Sure. Right here. In the B show. So
what we talking about, Killer?
I wanted to check out this thing down goddamn
Good evening. Today, I would like to discuss a little bit about what are known as demon bowls, sometimes known as demon traps, at other times known as incantation bowls. They're actually likely all of these things. They were used for protective magic to trap demons before they entered a house. There are a few bowls that wish to trap demons for nefarious purposes, but these are very rare. As the name suggests, incantation bowl, these bowls were inscribed so that a lot of the information coming from these bowls is from the linguistic standpoint. However, there really isn't any information shocking or disturbing to anyone in the modern world. There's nothing, for instance, like an exorcism involved in these bowls. Here is a good example. It's about the size of a cereal bowl. It's wheel made, and there's nothing special about the bowl at all. However, the bowl has in ink an inscription or series of inscriptions in a spiral leading to a main figure of the demon. And in this case, the demon looks something like a child would scrawl. The question would be, is this because they were simply indicating a demon here? Or did they actually not want to depict a demon in realistic form? In any case, the inscription, which in this case has been untranslated, would give all the information you need to know about the person being afflicted as well as the demon. In this case, the demon figure has a helmet-like head, very large eyes, schematic arms, a very simple body, what looks almost like a skirt, and what you could say would be bird legs. The demon here doesn't look particularly frightening. In fact, it looks powerless. And the bird legs could indicate something about the demon. Many of the demons depicted on the bowls are female. Lilith, by name, also known as Astarte or Ishtar. This deity was a deity known from the Mesopotamian pantheon as the Queen of Heaven. However, the religion of the previous culture usually turns out badly in the present culture. In the present culture, that being the successor to the Mesopotamian empires, the Jews, the Mandaeans, and even the Arabs, the Queen of Heaven is regarded as a demon who brings pain in childbirth and also kills children. It's very important to keep this demon away from the house. These bowls give an incredible amount of information about what people believed in the 6th to 8th century AD. This was a very formative time for both Judaism and Christianity, as well as Islam. Many doctrines were being formalized at this time. And these bowls offer a unique glimpse into how everyday religion functioned at this time. It's also significant that Rabbinic Judaism was beginning to codify. The Mishnah was written at this time, and there are references in these bowls to the Mishnah as well as to the Hebrew Bible. This demon was published by Erica Hunter and is a good example of the kind of demons that appear on other bowls. As you can see, unkept hair, a headband here, clear eyes, nose, mouth. Hands are very crudely delineated, but every finger is clear here. These spots likely represent a leopard, as Ishtar, the Queen of Heaven, is associated with leopards because of their fearsome nature. And the feet are splayed outwards in a rather harmless way, not so that the demon is chasing after you, but in a relatively harmless position. What's very important here is that this figure wears something like a collar or a halter that would prevent the demon perhaps from speaking. Other bowls have demons that are bound either at the hands or the feet. If I can read what is associated with this figure, although this particular example was fragmentary from other bowls, we understand that the shield here for the inscription, "This is the voice of the weak that are broken and of men who fight and go into battle. Also the voice of raging women who curse, afflict, bewitch, and pain this body." The voice in this case is not human. The voice is of the demon that is being controlled here with the collar. Many of these texts adopt the form of a divorce. A petitioner or a demander demands that the demon leave, that the demon no longer afflict the individual. Many of these texts are very carefully written. The letter forms are very clear. The text has allusions to the Mishnah, other rabbinic texts, even the Hebrew Bible. It's likely these were professional scribes who also today would be considered magicians, although likely at the time they would have considered themselves well within the norm of their religion. They were simply producing what the bowl would describe itself as an amulet. That would mean an amulet for protection against these creatures. Sadly, many of these bowls have appeared on the antiquities market without any kind of information as to where they were found. But it is known that these bowls only occur in Iraq and Iran. There are many examples of these bowls that are not in good condition. The reason is, even though this is a very dry area, these bowls were simply placed in front of the house or in the house upside down so that the water would flow over the bowl. But obviously, if there was too much water, the ink writing inside would be washed away. A good example of a site that had these bowls in abundance is the Jewish community in Nippur, where just about every house is associated with a bowl. That was usually in front of the doorway, but they could also be bowls in the house, particularly in the corners of rooms. The corner of a room would be where the floor would join the ceiling, and there would be usually a gap or separation where a demon could crawl in and threaten the occupants of the house. There were other bowls that were associated with cemeteries, which for obvious reasons, this would be a very active region where the human dead could be assailed by demons. Hopefully,
but I guess water was used in these bowls. And would you think maybe it was like they were scrying with it, or it was just used as a tool to manifest the result of the incantation? Like maybe like the person are gazing like in the bowl through the water, reading the text or something like that.
I'm sorry, it's hard for me to hear you, Killer.
What is once you shopping or slow? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. The guy was talking about how water was used in these bowls too. So, do you think maybe the water was used as a tool to make these things come about, like maybe scrying or just using the water as a tool while you're reading the incantation or something like that too?
I'm not sure where they're going with that. You know, water to me has always been a great offering. You know, and one thing, you know, he says very plainly. He uses a lot of plain terms. I wouldn't call it trapping a demon. I'd call it binding a demon. I think that when you have, I mean, it can even, all right, so I'm going to just say something crazy, and we can all sort of decipher this on our own, okay? And this is something that I've actually experienced. You have to understand that Lacker Black's been watching Constantine with, fucking, what's his name? Keanu Reeves. You have to understand that spirits don't have a physical body. Okay? And a lot of these spirits, especially these lower level things that I would think that would even be attracted to these bowls, you know, the spiritual, malevolent riffraff of the spirit world, they are nameless. They are bodiless. They are disembodied, nameless, sentient beings, you know, that do feed off of certain things. Like I know y'all were talking about the egg with the egg with the blood, and blah blah blah, like that being sort of like an offering. So perhaps these demons that are probably plaguing this family back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, maybe they bind themselves to that image of that demon in that incantation, which is put into a clock. Is drawn in a clockwise motion. If what I saw was correct, you know, and maybe that's what it is. They bind themselves to the bowl so that they can have a name. You know, it could even be something like that. But I definitely think it's a binding instead of a trapping.
In Apollo, they said like the spirit, like they will go to the graveyard and they will find a spirit to agree to come with them, right? And the spirit, I guess, wants to go in there because he's gonna get things that he won't get just laying up in the grave. You know what I mean? Now he has somebody caring for him and giving him offerings and things that, or things, or putting things in there that are associated with him with things, just like with voodoo, like Papa Legba, like certain things. So
Right.
like, you know what I mean? So maybe in his past life, like when he was living, these are the things that he loved to do and the things he loved to eat and drink. So
Yeah.
You're giving him, and he can't eat it physically, but the essence or the energy that are in those things that he loves are being brought to him. I lost track of that.
Right.
There was another thing too that I said. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah. So they're definitely bound. They bind themselves to the bowl, and so which creates, it becomes like a beacon that is stronger than, let's say, the energy resonating from your home. You know what I'm saying? Because they've now been bound to the image on the bowl, which is just like a sigil.
Right.
You know?
Oh, this is what it was. And they talked about how they're always in the corner of the house, right? The guy that practiced Apollo that I know, right? He said, "You never noticed that I never sit in the corner, or never stand in corners of the room, and stuff like that." And he said, "The spirits dwell in the corners,
They dwell in the what?
in the corners of rooms. So that's where they like to sit, where they like to chill out. Like if they in your house, they chilling in the corner."
Right.
So he was saying that he never sits in the corner of rooms. Like you go in somebody's house or something like that. He's never in the corner.
I've never heard that.
So I was thinking with these bowls being in the corner of the room was one of the best, like you trying to trap a mouse or some shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
and that's where it stems from. Where do you put it? I mean, where do you put a mouse trap? You put it against the wall in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it be. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's just common sense there. But I don't see the correlation with spirit.
Yeah, that's what he was just telling me. It was like,
yeah. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about the guy, but I just, I don't see you'd have to break that down in physics, quantum physics, and cosmically break that down. Why a corner is so special to a spirit, why a spirit want to hang out in the corner. I just don't know that. I don't know. Maybe someone can help me out on that one.
Yeah. Motherfuckers is crazy. I wonder if Aisato is a witch. She's always in the background, secretly dictating and watching me. Aisato, Siberian. Judah Nazareth's wife.
Oh, Aisato.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Some of us thought she was a robot, like AI and shit.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence. Yeah. Yeah, Judah threw apart. Like he got that spell that he put on us. I don't know if you heard that, Siberians, when I played with Judah cursing us.
No,
like,
man, you gotta send me a link or something, man. I gotta see that.
Yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
I can see it in my mind though. You know what I'm saying?
It was the most ridiculous thing in the world. But he actually got it from a spell book. He actually got it from a spell book. And I knew where he got it. Like, you know what I mean? I went right to it. I'm like, look, this is the shit that he said right there. And it was for a thing to defeat your enemies or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Oh, Saito, hey Saito, Sony PlayStation.
Saito.
Hey, Saito. Samsung.
Yep. Great.
Japanese is cool though. That'd be a cool language to speak. They're the most gangster of the Asian people, that's for sure.
Negi speaks Japanese.
Huh?
Negi speaks Japanese.
Oh yeah? Fluently?
Yeah, really.
What?
Yeah, Negi knows all kinds of languages and shit. Negi will surprise the shit out of your ass. You ask Negi some shit, Negi just start spitting that shit out. For real.
Hey, y'all be sleeping on Negi. Negi's that dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yup, that's why Judah Nazareth ain't trying to fuck with him and shit. Cause Negi just get fucking all deep on his ass and shit. He's like, oh
Speaking
shit.
Speaking of deep, when Negi pulls out the tidy whitey drawer in your ass, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Cause them shits is deep.
Yo, that was the best video ever.
Dude, that was the most gangster shit I've ever seen in my life.
He said, this is the good stuff right here.
He's like, it's 100% cotton, Negi. And then everyone was trying to get all racist with it. I was like, hell no, 100% cotton holds aromas good. Got that good ball sweat for you on tap.
Yup, on tap. Just for Judah Nazareth.
Just like how Judah likes it. Right in the ball section.
Oh shit. Vicky from Small Wonder. Remember that shit? I forgot all about that show. You probably too young to remember that. Siberia. Remember the show Small Wonder?
I've never seen that show. I don't know what she's talking about, and maybe I'm showing my age.
Yeah, that's some old 1980s shit.
Yeah, I'm showing my age for sure. Hey, Trill the Black Champion said some funny shit. Yeah, man, unfortunately so. Well, it's fortunate for us.
Yeah, Lacquer Black. You don't remember when he did the spell on us? Probably wasn't paying attention.
Could you play that on here real quick?
Yeah, I can play that.
Man, play that for us, please. That'd be great. Oh, $5 sake. Oh. You want Robin Tug?
I replayed it on a recent.
You said what now, bud?
Yeah, I played it on a recent stream.
Oh, you did?
Listening. Yeah, I believe this is the one right here.
Cool.
I'm motherfucking cursing everybody. Parents, goddamn kids, guys. I was like, goddamn. That nigga trying to get me.
You want sake?
Look at me or Chris.
Urban Nation or whatever the hell that.
Some shit, right? Love Sugar is his wife. Oh, let me make a video say video by Love Sugar.
I called myself trying to fix our situation.
Yeah, this man right here.
At the same time, they were
Booger Beard, dumb motherfucking ass. He said, "Go ahead, curse him, Avanya. Curse him." He said, "Well, I'm at work." He said, "Just curse him." Avanya said, "Ba, fo, met." curses to death. That's some shit, yo. I was like, what the fuck?
I curse your ancestors.
That motherfucker was crazy, man. Hold on, baby.
Something tells me he might be making another big curse video sometime in the near future. One thing's for sure, Judah got the curses on deck. Who is Hadassah? Oh shit.
Let that shit trickle down her fucking retarded ass fucking forehead and shit.
What?
Yeah, I'm a weirdo and shit. Right? Now Hadassah is a girl that's over there with I used to talk to her and shit.
Uh-huh.
Batshit fucking crazy. She's like half Haitian, half like Jewish.
Just nuts,
And
right?
she's fucking batshit motherfucking crazy. Like batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah.
She got no off switch. Like no off switch. But she got the big retarded dent in her forehead and shit. Like somebody cracked her in the forehead. That's exactly what it looks like.
Big.
It really looks like somebody hit her in the fucking head.
You saying she got the big forehead dent?
All right, let me get this thing. Yeah, like a big one. That shit look crazy.
Like you can put a
pour
quarter in it?
cereal in that motherfucker.
Oh, you pour cereal in it. Oh.
Yep,
I thought
for
maybe
sure.
you just put a quarter. I thought maybe you just put a quarter in it.
That. That's totally crazy.
Nah, you put cereal in that motherfucker.
Ah,
Check
okay.
this out. Here you go.
Lying on the Torah with the Torah in his hand and trying to say he's going to use the Torah to curse. You know, not holy name, you stand by that holy name, not holy equivalent, not holy Torah. You trace the gospel of them. You understand? You're not holy name, you're not holy name. You're not holy name, I swear. I did not place, I did not teach witchcraft, I did not teach any sort of sorcery or folly, which I don't even believe in. I believe in my holy name, and that holy person that you're faithful for the children, the resource.
Can y'all hear that already? I don't know if y'all
Nah,
can hear
it's not very good quality, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not the best quality. But he's saying he's swearing on Yahweh Adonai and stuff that he don't practice witchcraft and he doesn't teach Kabbalah. And that's exactly what that motherfucker's doing.
Yeah.
Like that shit, any weight that he say, after all the shit we see him do, and he got the nerve to swear on Yahweh. That's just crazy little motherfucker.
Yeah,
crazy
that don't
fuck.
make no sense.
But
you know, that's if you gonna talk about it, be about it.
say that again.
I said, if you gonna talk about it, be about it. Don't fucking, you know, everyone likes to be an occultist and everyone likes to be a witch and this and that, or you know, some devout Hebrew Israelite. Yet you know, talking about the Kabbalah and cursing people and marrying outside your race. Isn't that like some shit?
This motherfucker.
I mean, I'm not. From what I'm told, that's not being a very good little Hebrew Israelite.
Sure
Bad Hebrew Israelite, bad.
Yup. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly what that shit is.
Bad little Hebrew monkey.
Oh, I gotta bring the monkey back. You never saw the monkey. I got a little monkey riding on the bicycle and shit.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
used
that
to
in
play
your other videos. That shit's hilarious.
Yup. I gotta bring that motherfucker back.
Bad monkey, bad.
Let's try to pull up that.
I need some charge.
was stressing motherfucker out.
Can we do like some questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, anybody in the chat, y'all got any questions pertaining to anything that I specialize in, or even Killer B, you know? What's going on between him and our sworn enemies, you know? Kind of open discussion board here.
They was trying to get my secrets earlier. It was like, how you do it? Like, I ain't telling your ass.
Hey, one thing I want to let everybody know, I'm glad I'm on Killer's side. Just let me say that.
Yeah.
Good God, if you ever...
Like,
I'm like, please don't burn my ass up, Killer, please. Them motherfuckers over there don't know how to handle. Trill, even though Nagy's Noodle is hilarious, out of respect for our homie, we ask you not to. Nagy's the homie, man. We can't talk about that shit no more. Let them guys. Hey, that's all they talk about on the other side. All you gotta do is go watch one of their shits. They gonna be talking about either Nagy's dick or black dicks, white dicks, uncircumcised dicks, circumcised dick. They talk about all the dicks over there. So all you gotta do is go check them out.
All you gotta do is put it on for like 3 minutes, and you're gonna hear something like some crazy shit, just like that. 3 minutes.
You say what now?
You could turn on his channel and just drop it in any section of his video, and within 3 seconds, you can hear something about some dicks.
Yep, Wieners Are Us. The name is what he should name his channel to be. You got a question there, Killer?
This is the question of the year.
I don't even know what he's talking about. It's something I'm not aware of.
Gary, that's Judah's real name, Gary.
Oh,
yeah, so like basically like Apollo Pop. Like, I can't take
I get it.
Pick that motherfucker up, yo. Let somebody show me how to do that shit. I'll put
we don't need to be
Nazar in that bitch.
Man. Just kill him here on this realm, man. That's you good enough at it already.
You can already be dead. You can already
put
be
him
dead.
in the bowl, man. God damn.
Damn sure put him in that pot. Shit. I wouldn't even think twice about that motherfucker. I'm like, yo, let's go get this motherfucking head.
Well, hey, man, you supposed to be coming down here in November, man. You might come back a changed man.
Uh-huh.
You might come back with your own pot.
He damn sure gonna be a changed man. He damn sure gonna be a changed man. He's gonna have to do what I tell him.
Yeah.
Be in that goddamn pot. And the only thing I'm gonna feed him is pork rinds. That's gonna be his offering, pork rinds.
Hey, I'm gonna write Gary on a piece of paper and I'm gonna put it in one of my pots and send you a picture.
Say that again?
And I said I'm gonna write Gary on a piece of paper and put it in one of my bowls. And I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you. You can use that motherfucker.
Yup.
Yeah.
Fuck old Jerry.
True.
Nazar up and shit. Nazar, you don't fuck him down, nigga. He gonna fuck him down.
Trill, I have to agree, man. Before me and Nagy were friends, it was quite hilarious. You know? I mean, on one of his shows, I mean, it was 5 grown-ass men talking about Nagy's dick and balls for about an hour straight there.
But so I always remember friends with Nagy. Even if I jump on his ass, you see the videos, I get on his motherfucking ass. And that was for him not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nagy knew the motherfucker was wrong. Like, Nagy wasn't like most of the motherfuckers. Nagy knew the motherfucker was wrong. From 2 years ago. But he just couldn't, he didn't want to sever the friendship, type of thing. know what I mean? So that was the whole. So I used to be drilling nigga. I'm like, Nick, you see that nigga this time? And he'd be like, yeah. And then I start talking about it, and nigga get mad and hang up on me and shit, and block me. And now he finally got over that shit. So I'd be like, oh, you want to block a motherfucker now and shit? Oh, now I gotta get you. Next thing you know, it's shit. New takes version and shit.
Yeah. Hey, would y'all consider Gary? Would y'all consider Gary a white name?
Yup. People say that he's Jewish. Because his last name is Bergen. And he was adopted. Man. So like I think he might have had Jewish adoption parents. Because he tried to say that about me.
Yeah.
He tried to say I had Jewish parents. That's what he tried to say about me. Judah projects. So everything that comes out of his mouth, he's talking about himself. Like it's real spooky like that. Like he's really talking about himself.
Yeah,
you hear
weird.
Him explain people and shit like that. He's talking about himself. Yeah,
that's
very
funny.
individual. Very but like if it's true about how you grew up and stuff, like I can understand what. But I was like, God damn, like you fucked up. I know motherfuckers that been through some shit and it fucked their head up. But this motherfucker is like goddamn demon, motherfucker. He don't give a fuck about shit. Like he got no moral compass at all. Like that motherfucker just like balls to the wall and fucking. That shit's crazy. But yeah, Judah Nazareth and shit, fuck around. Let me find out how to do that shit. Motherfucker, your ass be in that bitch quick. This ass will be in that motherfucker quick. It'd be a Judah Nazareth skull up in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fucked up. And all we got is pork rinds. That's all that motherfucker you can get for offering. Pork.
You only feeding him pork rinds, huh?
Yup. That's all you gonna get is pork rinds. That's it.
Damn. That's evil, man. That's evil.
Yup. No rum and nothing. I'd be like, fuck you. You're like, I want some more offers. I like some rum, man. Fuck you.
Yeah. Pork rinds, bitch.
Yup. I heard of people in Palo putting spirits in like timeout. Like if they don't act right, they put the motherfuckers in timeout. Like there was one that they said that they would put it in a river, like a stream, and it would fuck with the spirit. Like, you know what I mean? They put it in the stream, and I guess the running water would do something like and fuck the motherfucker up and teach his ass a lesson. Yep.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of the concept that you're talking about, I'm not no Tatar or nothing like that. I don't practice any secular, spiritual practice or religion. I guess the best term for me is like a cosmic occultist. But a lot of those concepts that may exist in that particular school of thought is very, very true in my concept, because just like I can put a person in timeout, you can do that with a spirit as well. Or you can cut someone's rations. You cut the rations, but I would only do that with a mortal and tranquil spirit, which I actually don't even have one right now, to be honest with you, because
that's like what the spirit is that in the Naganga is like an tranquil spirit, I believe. Because they get it from a graveyard.
Right? Like that could be. I don't want to fucking tell on myself, but that's when it comes to acquiring a real and tranquil spirit, let's just say that shit can go deep. Yeah, that shit goes real deep. It's personal. That person lived. You knew that person. That person did not die in a good way. That person may have died as a bad person. And in that instance, I would probably take your fucking skull, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. Like digging up the grave and all, taking your fucking, like if I had to have one, I would probably take your fucking skull, man, and you would become. And you would be bound to your skull because it's yours. Yeah. And I would use it like uh like a slave, you know, which I've talked about
Yeah.
this, but I would have to have some personal vendetta against this evil person that is now dead. And yeah, I would feed them. Like you're saying, I would only feed them pork rinds because he's all against eating pork, you know?
Yep. We support this shit. That's still all.
Yeah, I mean that's what you're saying is some evil shit and is very, very you know, very what's the word? Very plausible is really that's really a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's a real thing you're talking about.
Get some more spirits and shit.
Yeah,
Feed
I
them
don't have
motherfuckers
any
good.
experience.
It's all they gotta do is fuck with Judah Nazareth in his pot for eternity.
Yeah.
That's all they got to do. They just fuck with Judah. They don't gotta do shit for me but fuck with Judah Nazareth in that pot. So that motherfucker's gonna get a double win.
Yeah.
Double win. Goddamn Judah Nazareth. He deserves every goddamn bit of that motherfucker. Too. Of all the motherfuckers on this world, I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody. Judah Nazareth and shit. They're like, we about to do this to Judah Nazareth. I was like,
we got to remember what he stands for. You know, we've always said if he could have it his way, and his belief systems tells us this. If him and his consciously affiliated people could have their way, and they were 70-80% of the population, there'd be a genocide. That means the killing and enslaving of innocent people.
Yep.
It never did anything wrong.
He's guilty of that.
And I have a huge problem. I have a huge problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like
any of you
has been charged with so many fucking violations. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's just one thing after another. I could pull about 10, 15 motherfuckers on the fly that be witness to all that shit. I never seen somebody so wicked before in my whole goddamn life. Like, seriously. Like, not even motherfuckers.
I just want to say this. All you fucking black Hebrew Israelites, you ain't even got to be black. Hebrew Israelites that believe all this nonsense. You're a fucking evil piece of shit. And you're retarded. The fact that you would even think that. And the fact that you even think that y'all would be strong enough to even do that. You think, what'd you tell me, Killer? Jesus is going to come down and give him fucking superpowers?
Yup. And gonna fly through the air like Superman and shit. Rule the world.
Y'all some grown-ass men believe in this nonsense? Or how retarded are you? Judah Nazareth, his fucking head flying monkey, Terry Smoot, that's a stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, that's another
He's always on there. And all them other stupid motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That shit is retarded. It's so retarded.
Like, hate is not even a word, Malak. That shit not even a word.
Malak, we just told you why, man. Do you not listen?
Yeah. Like, all those goddamn videos I got, motherfucker. I know they long, but shit. Like I said earlier, just drop in a section of that motherfucker. Listen for like 10, 15 minutes. You be like, God damn, that's a wicked.
They preach hatred. It's not a good thing.
Like, he's done every violation in that motherfucking shame. No. Yeah, that's just horrible. Like I said, I don't even know nobody that fucking wicked. I know some wicked motherfuckers. Killers and shit. Like, no motherfuckers ain't as wicked as that motherfucker.
That shit is
Like,
wicked. And they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of them ain't never been that wicked.
For real. He already told motherfuckers to go out and try to stab motherfuckers and all types of crazy shit. Like, that's just like
Yeah, you got to get your head cut off for shit like that. That's what I believe. Any kind of wicked, evil person needs your damn head cut off. Yeah, Malak, they are giving y'all a bad name. It's like Killer B fell off. Any other occult questions? I want to get off this Hebrew Israelite shit. Any other questions?
I was
How
just
many people we got?
I said that off the fucking Judah Nazareth shit. So this motherfucker make me go get a fucking airplane ticket. Look at Japan. Do something to this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, so he don't even know. If he don't even know. Like, I sell solar on a tree service. I got money. There's nothing that there's nowhere I can't go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And let's just say his curse worked. And let's just say something happened to my family, someone very special to me. And let's just say that I'm fucking crazy and through my divination, I believe that you're the one that caused it. Then let's just say I'll fucking come and kill you physically, not through no fucking curse.
Yep.
I will physically come and kill you. That's how serious this shit is. Don't fucking be out here cursing people lightly.
Yep.
If you gonna come across a real motherfucker, it's not gonna take that shit very likely. And he's not gonna retaliate with another curse. He's gonna come find you and fucking put you in the ground.
Yeah. You go right, and I'll be right behind the motherfuckers and shit with the shovel.
Yep.
Put that motherfucker in the goddamn pot. Oh, I got an old school fucking down south kettle and shit. That motherfucker probably from the 18 goddamn hundreds. Like a, you know how they got like the witches, they be brewing the shit up? How they got the big, kettle with the on the flame and shit? I got one of them motherfuckers from down south.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Hey, our boy Nkosi asked how he can get in contact with me. Nkosi, you can let's see, how do I chat on here? Could you I can't chat when I'm on here. Could you put my email in the chat? It's asksiberius3@gmail.com.
I know it's on your.
Well, I mean, it's just asksiberius3@gmail.com. Capital A.
Can you get that for me?
What's that now?
No, I was asking Pete, could you get it for me?
Oh yeah, Pete could do it if they're still here. No, it's getting late as fuck. Damn, I gotta work in the morning. It's just too fun though, man. I have too good of a time ranting on here for y'all.
You're learning a lot, like, you know what I mean? It's not like we sitting up out here bullshitting. Like, you learn a lot. Learning a lot.
I appreciate that. You know, I try to be genuine. You know, but it's Ask Siberius.
Like, I be wanting to share these videos.
What now, Killer? We can't hear you.
Shit, I forgot. What I was saying. Yeah, like about us learning and stuff like that. Like, I be wanting to share our videos on like some occult groups and stuff like that on Facebook. Those motherfuckers is like just stuck up in a motherfucker. Like, that shit crazy. Like, you ask a question, nobody answers. It's like, well, goddamn.
Well, you're more connected. You're more connected on Facebook. You got family members and stuff. Like, I don't share my personal Facebook with nobody. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube, you're more it's more private.
A little more.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
You some things I don't.
Sorry about the delay. It seems that all my
put your thing in there. I got it, D. That's okay. This is email.
That's it.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Awesome. Thank y'all. But I mean, he already got it. Nikosi's a smart guy. I like Nkosi. Whenever he was on, he was cool. Shit, Nkosi, you jump on now, man. Shit.
Yeah, man. Here's the link.
It's always good to have you.
Link long ass motherfucking time ago. Should have been dropping.
Yeah, Siberius 3. That's it.
Give her a
Wow.
link. Kosi or anybody else that want to come out.
Bling, bling, blur.
What's another thing?
I can say some really intricate shit about the work that I just did for that client, and maybe we can talk about karmatic tax and what I had to experience afterwards for putting that work out there. We can talk about that. That's a very interesting topic for
Okay.
most people.
Yeah.
You want to hear it?
So I want to ask you that too. When you do work for other people, does any of that stuff affect you also? And how would it affect you?
Right.
Like you
So,
saying, like a tax or something you got to pay. Or whatever. But go ahead, explain.
So whatever the work that I'm doing, you're going to experience the same. That's literally what I've experienced. But you have to understand that if you're doing money work for a particular situation, for a particular client, maybe in the way that you're doing it is not cohesive for making money in your life. That also goes with love. Okay. Now, the next day, I signed a $56,000 solar deal. All right. But one thing you have to understand, whenever I did that work, I was using both negative and positive energies. We can also call that demons and angels. Okay. Just like the wires on the battery of your car, which y'all have heard me say 1,000 times. But I have to keep hammering that into y'all's brain for most people to get it. Just to kind of bring it all around back so you see where I'm coming from with this.
Yeah.
So, just like I said on that really awesome episode we did called Angels and Demons, the cost was for me. I have a cousin. I have that single wide out there in the country that I haven't been living in a whole year. I've been paying the lights on it, and I ain't even been living in it. Okay, so my cousin is getting a divorce. She needed somewhere to stay, so I had to go and basically get all my shit out, clean it up, fix all the repairs, and I lost 3 days of work. Now, I sell a deal about every other day whenever I work. Okay, I'm real lazy, to be honest with you, but whenever I do work, I sell a deal about once every other day. I make about $2,000 to $4,000 per deal. Now, so let's do the math. I had to help for 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to get her in there and get her comfortable for her baby and for them to be good, you know. So I lost, let's just say I could either lost $6,000 or $12,000. Now, for everyone that's working a 9 to 5, making $15, $20, $25 an hour, you know, making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in one job or in one sale, that's a lot of money.
Right.
But I've been working a lot and I haven't been around my family a lot. Like it's been months since I've seen my grandmother, who's right next door to my trailer. So yeah, I lost that money, but how can you put a price on reconnecting with your family? You know? That's the angelic side. The demonic side was the quick cash. Okay? Was the quick cash. The angelic side was the sacrifice. That in the end, the sacrifice was me having to move all that heavy ass furniture. I got some nice shit that I had up in there. All my occultic shit too. Big giant dressers and couches and fucking big king bed. I mean, I had a lot of shit in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Nikoshi's talking about lost 10 bands. Yeah, but how was that compared to my grandfather being super happy that I'm there? And even Saturday, I got to bring my kid over there. And me and my baby mama, we not on very good terms right now. But I'm getting a lot of attention from other women right now, which is weird because I usually don't. I'm usually too busy. But I've actually been getting a lot of attention from other women that are fine as fuck. So there's a give and take, and the relationship between my baby mama is toxic. You know what I'm saying? So even though I love that crazy bitch, maybe it's for the best. It's not what you want, it's what you need. Y'all ever seen Princess and the Frog?
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it's not about what you want, it's about what you need. You know what I'm saying?
I spoke about that earlier, and when I did on the video on you about the work you did, I spoke on that.
Right.
How it's like the woman, does she need that man, or is she just infatuated with him, or the guy?
Right. That gets into love.
Right.
I gotta clear this up. So yeah, I lost 10 bands by not working, but you gotta remember, I sold 2 deals right around where I did the work. I made 6 bands. Yeah, Nikosh, that's right. Now what you're talking about is, do you really love someone, or do you love what that person does for you? Is that what you're saying, Killer?
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
You're talking about whether do you really love someone, or do you love what that person does for you?
That could be it too. Like with the work being done, I was talking about how things have to be considered, like the characteristic of the person, what the situation is. Like maybe the man is ignoring her because he's not really thinking about like having no relationship or nothing like that. Or maybe the dude is just post with her, like he don't want shit to do with her. Like, I hate this bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Or it could be another way. And I was saying too with my thing, with the asking for things that I need and not things that I want.
Yeah.
And things that I want, I might get them, and they might be some type of repercussion.
Yeah.
Or it's not.
There's always a price. You know, one thing, I'm set up to make as much money as I want. But one thing I realized, see, and this is how I was looking at it last week, which seemed like it was like a takeaway, but it's not, because, you know, being reconnect with your family is a priceless thing. But I was like, man, this is the universe fucking trying to put me off my game. I gotta go fucking help move all my shit out of my house, you know? And I saw that as the universe, like, hey, this motherfucker is trying to change his own stars. Let me throw a wrench in the gears. Let me throw a monkey wrench in the gears. By me having to go and move all my furniture and do all this other shit. But you have to look at it. You have to look at it like, you have to look at the silver lining. You have to look at it half full. So yeah, my time got ate up. Everyone in the office was pissed because I wasn't out knocking doors and getting deals, because I'm like the most naturally talented person here. Of course, I'm a damn root worker. Of course, I'm gonna be a good salesman. But you know, goes back to what Nikosi is saying. Can't put a price on family and love. You know. And now I've reconnected. Now I've got a whole week ahead of me where I can fucking really turn it up. I got a appointment tomorrow at 5:30. Single mom, nice ass place, got a 13-year-old son. You know, I'm gonna sell the shit out of that.
Yeah. It's amazing how sales work and stuff. I'm really good at sales too. I'm like,
oh man, it's such a spiritual thing, man. I love sales because, especially door-to-door sales, which is the most hardcore version of sales. Mm-hmm. It's the most dangerous, the most by the cuff of your pants, you know, seam of your pants type sales, and you never know who's going to answer the door. Sometimes I meet some really fucking stupid people that I want to punch in the face, and sometimes I meet some really cool people. Like I knocked on one door, and it wound up being the governor of South Carolina's older brother, and I've done like 5 tree jobs for him now.
Yep.
You know, I do tree work for South Carolina governor's older brother. Believe that shit. Or we did some solar for Louis G. Friedman, who's a huge Hollywood producer.
Wow.
Yeah, we did. We've done it for like 4-star generals in the Air Force. We've done solar for them. I forgot his name. He's a 4-star general in the Air Force. I can't remember his name though. Big badass motherfucker. If he doesn't have a direct line to the president, he knows someone who does. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've done like I was doing my sales in like the skateboard industry and stuff like that. I was contacting like famous ass people was contacting me. And like all my sales managers and shit was like, yo, how the fuck are you getting these accounts? You know what I mean? Like I'm getting the accounts that won't even talk to them anymore. Like they hate these motherfuckers. And I'll give them a call and get them back. The motherfuckers fall in love with it. And I used to drive cabs too at one time. And I used to have everything, all my stations on the radio programming for all different types of people. Like I see an older, you know what I'm saying, like gray hair, white man and shit. There was some jazz on that motherfucker. You get in the car and shit. He's like, oh, shit. I thought this motherfucker be playing some goddamn DMX in this motherfucker. This motherfucker fooled me and shit. Like, know what I mean? Or some college, like I have a certain station on. Depending who I'm picking up, I have different types of music. And you'd be surprised how the outcome from just making those little minute changes in the surroundings, in the area, the space that you have this person in, what could you overcome with? I had people, my boys set me up, the dispatcher, he set me up. Like, this dude, his father was a basketball scout for the Blazers or something like that.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, he drunk as fuck and he want to act racist and shit. So as soon as this motherfucker got in the car, this motherfucker started with the bullshit. Right? And then I was like, pull the car over real quick and shit. And the motherfucker got scared. Like I was going to get out and do something to him. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm drunk. I'm sorry. He said, my father, me and my father, we love black people. That shit was funny as hell. Like, I'm trying not to laugh, yo. That shit. He's like, my father, we love black people. We help many black people. We help lots of black people and stuff. Go to the NBA. And fucking, he said, you want to come to my parties? He said, I have a bunch of parties and stuff. I have all the drugs. What kind of drugs you want to do? It's funny as hell. And this is in Fairfield County. This is where all like CEOs, all the big wigs in like New York City, they all live out there. You know what I mean? So these motherfuckers got money. Yeah, it's crazy. It'd be funny like how you can change a situation. Like some people get pissed off and punch you in the face. I'll play this game. But you know, at the end of the day, I got all this motherfucker's money before he get out that motherfucking cat.
That's right. That's damn right. Well, hey, killer, you done kept me up for till 3 o'clock in the morning, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
You fucking my day up for tomorrow, boy. God damn.
But you know my situation and shit. I ain't slept yet. So
yeah, I know. You about to go down. I gotta get some fucking sleep. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
All right, Killer. Well, thank you for having me on, man. This was a great episode.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna put this on my top of the book too.
Yeah, man. And we just got to redo the Siberius episode, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Siberius.
Still a lot of technical difficulties. Yeah. Just a quick redo.
I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking this one up here.
Just a little hour segment. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'll let you get some sleep, man. Thank you for coming on.
Great. All right, brother. Thank you as always, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Yeah, all right, Cartel. Another one down.
That's right. I'll holler at you there.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Yep. Siberius, the Cozy said call him when you get a chance. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yep, Pete. Thanks for stopping by the house and the coat whisperer. Thanks for being co-host Siberius, the sleeping serpent from the doctor. Yeah, Siberius did his thing tonight. Yeah, that was dope. I like how everything all moved together. What old girl and shit fell asleep on me? Back her back. Oh man. Yep, so this is a good one. I got some more. Let's see what else I got. Yeah, we got 3 hours, but this is a good 3 hours and shit. This is a real good 3 hours. This is a real good 3 hours. Damn, can I get a sub so I can give y'all niggas that ebook and shit? Like, fuck. Shit. Fucking, I keep all the motherfuckers myself. I already got them. That's gonna be where you get that from and shit. Gonna be where you get that. Wow, this is that one. I actually that one. This one. Rabbis and sorcerers. Status. So women were doing shit too. Like that. Yeah, shout out to everybody, yo. There's bad people up there. Yeah, we're trying to come with this different content, yo. All these other black channels and shit like that, they don't be talking about shit. They talking about some old dumb shit, like, you know what I mean? None of this stuff, like we Siberians today, these are things like we actually gave things that you can use tomorrow or today. Like, use the shit, go to the store right now. Use some of the stuff that Siberian taught, stuff I talked about, and stuff. You can put these things in action. There's other channels out there, like, they don't give you shit. Like, you can't go nowhere with none of that bullshit. Tell me about, Egypt stole everything from fucking Greeks stole everything from Egypt. Like, the Bible is the same shit as the shit of Egypt. Like, none of that shit means shit. Like, you know what I mean? Or like you can't use it. It's not like it's not a fucking man. A couple of assholes with the same screen name, so I know that's easy. I block one motherfucker today. Block one motherfucker. Ah, P. Ah, absolutely. 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 Yup. Get content for their old channel. Watch all these black channels and shit start talking this shit. Right? Watch, these motherfuckers gonna try to get some white people too. Watch. Yo, watch. I called it. Watch. They can start coming in now. Now they're gonna have white people on this. I bet I wouldn't doubt if Sinetter don't do that shit. Like he had Harry Rosenberg. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get some water here. Yup. Man. Woo. Oh, man. Yup. So, oh, who's that? Young Pharaoh or something? Young fucker. Yeah, but that what they're gonna do. They're gonna bite. Because I'm the nigga with his own wave and shit. Everybody else trying to get up on my wave and shit. I'm the master carver and shit. I'm carving up the waves and shit. You know, I be on my skate shit, motherfucker. Z-boy shit. I be surfing the shit out of that motherfucking wave. Oh, some more motherfuckers gonna be copying me. They coming over here, hey Killer D, what's up? I'm like, get over around here. I'm gonna be on my Uncle Ruckus shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be on my Uncle Ruckus shit. Fuck these motherfuckers up. Now really. I remember Judah told us that Amber's brother was Uncle Ruckus, was the voice for Uncle Ruckus and shit. But it was a lie. Yes. Amber's brother, the dude from Reno 9/11. I told Amber she was black. Anyway, this is another video. Raccoon skin wig, that raccoon wig. Prejudice. Let me see. I'm trying to get something. That's the thing. Let's see what else. I want you to be the man that wins. That's interesting. Yeah. That's crazy shit right here. Exercise and injury. That. Magical power of the name. Let's go through this. The magical power, the magic perception of names, words, and letters expressed in the Gusnasta incantation formula. In her writings of God's names with permutations of the letters used to spell these names. What is his name? And he is, and it's his name, he is called fever and chills burning. Most of these names are known from nowhere else, and we would not have considered them as elements of divine names. Had this not been clearly stated, it is important to remember that we are discussing the magical cosmos, which is a realm that promotes weirdness. Parts of the magic text of the information usually include words that are meaningless, have irregular speech and incorrect syntax. Thus, Nazda used the concept in which the name of God appears in every name letter in the space, and added incomprehensible sounds that establish the magical power that will change reality. This element is evident in the next sentence, which was written in Hebrew. All names are names, the name of names, and from a name, and from the name of his name, from among his letters, and letters from a vision, and a vision from the deep, and the deep from among the hidden, and the hidden from among the pronounced, and the pronounced from within the revealed. So this mixture of languages, Aramaic and Hebrew, the Snastica, added the magical element of the vocal language. As seen above, the variety of God's names, sets one, section, whatever. These are sounds that mimic the hissing voices of a snake. In addition to the hissing sounds, Gustanesta uses another vocal element. The Aramaic word that's Shema, Shema, or No, that's not. That's Shana. That's Shana. That's that's Shana. Or Shanar. Shanar. In Hebrew, his name is repeated multiple times. To these words are added the word Shemaiah. Shemaiah, sky. Yeah, Shemaiah means sky. Yep. The heavens. The word Shemaiah, sky. These three words resonate. See, I know some Hebrew, motherfucker. I can read that shit. I can read the Aramaic like better. Like I can straight up read that shit. I might not know what it says, but I straight up read that motherfucker like I read English. Like I'm really good at reading. These three words resonate, but I never was into like the modern English. So found that interesting. Three words resonate the magic sound, echoing 22 times in particular rhythm throughout the formula, creating a harmony, poetic reminder of the magic term. Lahash, spelled in Hebrew. And this orchestra, God's name, turns into a magical bowl, a magical tool, which can be pronounced or written, and at the same time produce a magical sound that creates a form of control over demons, allowing their exorcism and the healing of the beneficiary. How did it? What you talk? Hanging me up here or something? We'll talk about it. Oh. Great show, got to dip out. It's almost time to get up again. Be safe, man. Stay out the coast. Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Y'all always love you. Have a good night. Homegirl Pete, holding me down. Fine. I want to see some P videos. You got to start coming up. He got all the damn information. And she be tricking it out to your boy. This shit. She be get handed it out to your boy. Yeah. P is like on some of the most notorious videos and like notorious things that get like happen and shit. I won't let anything out the bag and shit. He that one, yo. Real. Real talk. Sweet P. Found all his name sounds. Death, flees, and is paralyzed and disappear, hides from this. I hate seeing that. Daughter of Muscoy and every name that happened. So her own name used as a means of defeating the angel of death. Thus Nazca adds a double Yehudi, female Jewish, as means of defeating the evil inclination. This reference to herself as Jewish and female makes her an eligible, valid, kosher Jewish woman, from whose body the evil inclination of exercise like a disease, in contrast to the Messianic tradition. What constitutes a violation of Yehudi custom? If she goes out in public with her hair uncovered, if she spins thread in the market, and converses flirtatiously with any man. Violation of the Jewish custom for women. Nazca exercises she's tormenting her, all of which appear in the Babylonian Talmud. She enlists the power of God's name and angels to fight Satan and angel of death. Ribia, and even the evil inclination, which is an element often considered a threat to men only. This battle is conducted with elements drawn from the world of the demonic sages, including the most powerful angel, Ketriel Ya. This knowledge of community lore and tradition is reflected in the information board. It's a tool which gives master creates an anti-community incantation. Wordplay performed on God's names, angels, and angels' names. Of course, your own is the ethical and the subversive incantation board. This Nat book is, in fact, states that her name is equal in power to those of angels and God. There is no doubt in my mind that such a subversive statement could not have been a product of the paintbrush held by a man from a living. We can therefore infer that this incantation bowl was conceived in the mind and hands of a woman, a broad-minded sorceress woman who was well versed in the medieval magic. But Tammuz supposedly be Malak Toss also. Got any more questions? Someone else. Text used in Mesopotamian riches is witchcraft. Not one motherfucker up there. So one person watching, so all that. So that. Let me see if anybody's subscribed. I ain't gonna subscribe to it. I'll give you the one that I so, I don't know who subscribed. I would shout out the person that subscribed. Oh, actually, it's probably somebody that showed you subscribe. You don't show you subscribe. Like, people don't, their name doesn't show up. how to see now Liberians helping lay some of this stuff down for us. Go over there to your boy's channel, my boy's channel, and subscribe to that. Go, your free ebook here. For all my niggas and all my niggerettes. Right. Y'all. All right, y'all. It's all you. Congratulations. So tomorrow, I'm gonna get another lesson up, and we're gonna hopefully give away another free ebook. Y'all keep subscribing, more ebooks are gonna get out. I'm planning on getting a site, making a site too, so I can create a library with all these books and stuff. I got a lot of shit that people really know nothing about. I got some crazy shit. I got some real crazy shit. I'm not even trying to get out. I'm not even trying to get out. Y'all express love and shit. Yeah, that's what shit. I'll put your ass in the goddamn pop. Let me stop playing this shit. Fill the skull up with raisins. Don't ask me why. It's a secret. You put raisins in the skull. Eat raisins. That's what's wrong. All right, y'all. Gonna be the goddamn Witch Fighter General. You got a witch. Burn their motherfucking asses up.
Shout out
Shout out
to JN.
to Siberia.
So I guess nothing is coming after JN. J is in, you dig?
Shout out to the cartel.
All praise to Yah. Who is the God? First and foremost, the worship will be catch up, rain, you and the slain, as the rain cult leaders who do bids about their features, preachers, who profess no preacher, leech support, y'all be conjuring demons, thinking you curse, bubble verse, the Torah night hearse, damn blasphemy with the what kind of man says men fantasize about it, oh what an outing. Down low brothers with baby shouting, mind control puppets when they Satan handler. They loose to be a Springfield chandelier. Campers beware, the wolves are out. They think they got you with crying and pout. Drought in their brains like the desert of Sinai. Jeet Kune Do style, I don't do it, the lead just fly. Seismic activity collapse your beach. pagodas and wooden structures discovered underneath. Think about Tsunami Jimmy, but the streams, label infinity, disseminate judgment like icicles. The mind open up too late for tear trickle. Visual proof of your leader's folly. Playing more games than Molly. It's a rocky road, waking up from abuse. Yet you can't change those who want to remain aloof. Even chant Baffy in they bid to distract me. Laughing in the heavens, attacking. Cats a fool thinking Darawah's a book. They forgot to swim and bit the hook. Darawah is within, as God is changing your heart. Mercy upon those who you put in a cart on the chart to purchase your mind. Who am I to argue with wisdom design? Freedom to write and recite. Turn the devil day and the night. Look how this word smite. Lift they face upright, ate up by their own might. So interesting to the sight. It's a page turner. Demons branded with the J in burner. When J in, you out. It'll learn you. Scorn teachers, run for the hills. Then the hills cough them up, no frills. I get chills thinking about your house sinking beneath. All because you became more Cain than beast. Or more beast than Cain. Where that beast call you by government name. Slain firstborn, even to my own self born. Bought the farm, the one that connives wrong. Smoke y'all when aroma enters zone. Niggas be walking with their downfall in their hands. She walk with you while you play in the sand. Claiming nothing but old man. Troubled life more than Gary Coleman. Let them coals light up into embers. Nebuchadnezzar destroy your temple so you can remember volumes of witnesses against you. High right holding more yoga positions than Hindu. It's the return of Vishnu to end you. Who use stones to tempt you. Talk this up to a misused pimp move. Blade rip you. Whole time Josh remain blissful. Praise the Yah, no dismissal. Use another dismissal to end. Let this fire quench you. Same way it quench you. Motto is simple. Wish death upon fam, catch holy mental. Bombarded by shrapnel, have doctor removed. Piece by piece with scalpel. Then, when you rest, ninja come through and scalp you. All over tough talk. Vengeance is mine, says Yah. Hear the wings of the tomahawk. Hear the wings of the tomahawk. Cast the yoked up with two rings. Hear them rings. Yeah. I know. Guess you never did that, right? You never came to your house for it, you know. All praises to your house. Yeah. For always being active, not stagnant, not confined to some spot, some book. Being ever present. I mean, yo, big up to all those who stand against wickedness, who expose wickedness, who look and seek for righteousness, for mature adults, right? Don't be mad when the tables return, like Grandmaster Flash did. But the job.
Burn their asses up. That's everybody. Thank you, Mr. Goodman.